KDA? Should we show them how we do it every day? Let's get it. Kali that girl, Kali go girl, Kali gon' stop, Kali gon' skirt, Kali got a job, Kali got a word. 뜨거워 언제나 don't get burned. 넘쳐 흘러물 than a buffet, 죽여주잖아 like a buffet. 누가 감히 on my outfit, 그 문 열지 마 that's a rock day. I'm giving you more cause I'm greater than. 필요 없는 시험들 다 뿐이미. But all of my numbers are talking babe. 부루마법 메시지 monopoly. 눈종이 돈이나 real money 필요 없대. 너네들이 많은 돈들 go get it, go get it, go get it. 또 미션 눈을 못대 못해 그래 너도 get it cause I got it different. All I'll ever know is life upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it, so keep going. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like boom, boom, blow your mind. Never giving less and that's how it'll stay. You know I got it like all day, all the time. When I go, it's so dope, get it cool, but I'm cold. I don't sit in a mode, I'm a rebel. I don't do what you say, making moves, I don't wait while I smile in your face. I got different DNA. What's higher than the top, that's me. Come take a look before falling at my feet. 조용히 몸을 숙여봐. So take a look, 나를 기억해, queen. All I'll ever know is life upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it, so keep going. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like boom, boom, blow your mind. Never giving less and that's how it'll stay. You know I got it like all day, all the time. Way out, 感觉犹如海浪的味道，不断往前，oh you'll never way down. This is how I do it every day. Wow, wow. 这一路上的奇迹都记住了你的每一个瞬间，无比的耀眼。I know you want some more， 准备好就一起走。Giving it all more. No, I got it, so keep going. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like boom, boom, blow your mind. Never giving less and it's
Welcome back, everybody, for the second series of Week 7, Friday night, here on VCS English. It is the VCS English Analyst Desk. I've managed to recover my throat, at least somewhat, from that first series. We do have Rebel Fox back with us. What was your opinion on that second game from Flash?
I mean, I think it was difficult for Flash to play against the composition set up by GLX, but somehow GLX is so bad that even they were capable of throwing despite very clear compositional differences. I also want to say I think Pake had an insanely good series. He was really consistent at all points. Even like Div Kid had like the moments where he was weak before the pentakill had occurred in that game, but Pake just consistently was doing really good things. So big props to him and Team Flash for taking the win this week.
Yeah, I think they definitely earned that win, even if it wasn't the prettiest. But we move on swiftly to a very, very important series. We've got SBTC taking on Team Secret. This is a really, really important series. Before we get to what we think will happen, Marby, I know you've looked into this match quite a lot. What are the playoff implications?
So this is very important, especially for SBTC. Because they have the hardest schedule left out of pretty much any team in the VCS. Not called GARM, but GARM is also the best team in the VCS, so they So relatively, it's actually the hardest because they have to play Go. SBTC does. They also have to play SGB. They also have to play Cerberus. That's
very hard.
that's the top
That's
three.
a hard run. That's a hard.
And now they're playing Secret. So basically, the other top 4 teams, not called them, they have to play against. So they need this win. If they get this, they should be basically secured top 4, top 5. But I mean, unless they lose every other match and some shenanigans happen with BTS and Team Secret, but they need to win that. If they lose this, then their playoff chances get very dicey because of who they have to face. Team Secret, on the other hand, 4 and 5, a little bit rough to start off, but much easier schedule. The only tough opponent they have to face after SBTC is Cerberus.
Yeah, which is a tough opponent, but yeah, basically, SBTC is sitting 2 series ahead, but their schedule is the hardest it could possibly be. It literally couldn't be harder, as Marby outlined. So they need to win this game to set themselves far enough ahead of Secret to guarantee playoffs. Now, it's not going to be a mathematical guarantee. There's too many games left for that. But in terms of likelihood, Rebel, I'm going to ask you a bit of a controversial question. Which of these teams do you think deserves 4th place?
I hate SBTC, man. I hate them so much.
Neither.
Their team does nothing, dude. They do nothing across the board. This is a team that, like, I've watched so many of their games where they just sit there and wait as their opponent beats themselves. It's the most ridiculous thing, and it frustrates me beyond belief to watch that continue to happen. I do think as we come forward in the split that, like, Saigon has slowly come into their own and Cerberus has also come into their own. So both those teams should surpass them. If you're asking me who you think should be the final playoff team, like, this is actually a pretty hotly contested. We've seen the maximum that Team Secret can do, having been the only team that beat GAM. But SBTC, their players are good enough. Dia1, I think, actually kind of got screwed because now Tristana's in the meta and people can ban it legitimately as a pick. So he's actually lost that out of the mid lane. But if they continue to play the way that they do, it's up to Team Secret to come out and beat them. If they can beat them today, I think that's the first step, is just being able to prove that you can beat SBTC at their own game within this series is more than enough to prove that Team Secret should be the number 4 for playoffs.
See, the thing for me is that I agree. I hate SBTC. Not the players. I just hate how they play because, yeah, they don't do anything.
So painful.
But I kind of hate Team Secret too. For similar reasons. Because D&K makes me want to hurt myself because he doesn't do anything. He refuses to go in first. He is a little baby who needs his bottle. He needs to be tucked in, given his blankie, and they need to get a new jungler because he needs a nap. He's just he's a good player. When he is second man in, he's really good. But there are some comps, mate, where you got to be first man in. You're playing a damn jungler. That's your job. It's really, really frustrating. So this is a battle of possibly the 2 most frustrating teams in the VCS. And Marby, let's get our predictions up and have a chat about why we went the way we did. And I'll let you start us off, Marby.
I don't even remember what I did.
You picked.
Okay. I went with the chickens. I think for the most part, SBTC have been a little bit on the upswing. Dia1 has sort of regained a little bit of form. That mid jungle was really their big weak point, and those 2 players are looking a lot better. Whereas Secret, I just cannot trust this team. I cannot trust this team at all because sometimes they look good, but it feels like more often than not, Coated especially is just not living up to what he should be doing, and that is dragging the team down, and it requires Artifact to step up big. It's just too often Team Slater. And I don't want it to be Team Slater.
Yeah, I've gone the same prediction as you. I think this is a really, really close match. the thing that tipped it over for me is just these teams are coin flip, and so far SBTC's coins weighted a little bit better. They're better at flipping it, so that's what it did to me. But it's super close. And Rebel, you're the black sheep. You have gone for the boys from Team Secret. What do you think puts them over the edge?
So I'm going to preface this with the fact that I have done this prediction, I think, multiple times, and every time I predict against SBTC, they always win. So you guys are guaranteed to get a dub this week because obviously I'm just always wrong.
Wait, hang on. Your way.
Yeah.
If you're in chat, you need to tweet something good about SBTC. We'll let the cursors fight.
I want to see who's better. I guarantee mine will win, unfortunately. The big reason why is, again, like if Team Secret could try to figure out their win condition, again, this seems like a team where they can find a way to try to play against a good team. We saw that against GAM where they were able to play in a legitimate series against the top-level team, despite kind of like extenuating circumstances that got them that win. They still have win conditions. Like we said, even if it's just Team Slater, that's more than other teams bring into SBTC, where they come in with no game plan and they just end up losing the game because they don't do anything the whole time. At minimum, we can expect Team Secret to come in, even with DMK not always having the most priority. And yeah, with everything else, Artifact and Slater are two members that you can play around at any given point. They just have to do it. That's all I need to see from them. And if they're capable of doing so, I think they're good enough to beat SBTC.
We'll have to see. Marby, what would you like to see in terms of focus? What roles do you think will crack this one open?
Top is just too important. If you're on red side, save that counter pick for top. I know Zeros has been super safe in playing these, playing things like the Gnar, where he's just be able to play this into any matchup in the world and do fine and usually win because he's still in that top tier of top lane is above the rest, not called Kiaya. But
Zeros
I think
has
you need to leverage that. Yeah, I think you need to leverage that. You need to say, all right, mate. You want to be the god again? Now's your chance. Put this boy in the dirt. Put him down. Similarly, I think Yijin, give him the comfort. He likes the run fast. He likes Hecarim. He likes Skarner. He likes Udyr. Give him one of those three. You're happy. He will do his job. If you put him on something a little bit more tricky, then he starts to sort of not know what to do.
And Rebel, where do you think the game might break open in some different ways? What about the bot lane? Team Slater? We do head into Champion Select, but I still want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I think Celebrity Slay up against Slater CBL could be a really interesting matchup just because if you're putting resources into bottom lane, Artemis, is that what you said? My bad.
What?
No.
No, I said I'm not looking forward to Slater Slay.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one for you guys. Have fun with that match in the bottom lane.
Whoa. We've got some intel.
What's the intel?
That perhaps Nagia and Eddie are playing.
Ooh.
Oh.
Interesting.
That is spicy. We aren't 100% sure. It's just intel from chat at the moment. But we'll find out. That would be exciting. But do continue. Sorry, Rebel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if it is Slater, again, that at least gives the win condition to the side of TS, and I'd love to see them play that. I'm also recognizing right now, at least within the draft, to see whether or not Tristana ends up getting banned, because it should just 100% be first pick for the side of SBTC. It's busted in 3 lanes. There's no way you can't pick this.
The Nocturne ban, that is a Team Secret specific ban. Turns off that one of their strategies. I like that.
I don't know if they needed to go with it because of the Camille ban, but it's still good, better safe than sorry. Now Team Secret can just sort of put SBTC into an uncomfortable position. Do you take Hecarim? Do you take or do you take Tristana? I think you take Tristana because Udyr and Hecarim are pretty much interchangeable. They say otherwise, but we definitely see Nagia is in.
I like the Nagia swap.
This is going to be a tough challenge for him up against Zeros, who has been smashing.
I agree, but I
don't think Nagia is bad at all. I just think it's interesting.
Oh, it's definitely interesting, but I feel like it's a pretty solid pick. Time to do it. A pretty solid time to do it. Let me rephrase. It's game 1. You've got other games, but they lock in a Kai'Sa. And Rebel, you don't look happy.
What are the punishments for saying naughty words on broadcast exactly?
It's a fun.
Absolutely. You get
fine.
called a dirty swearer, and you get an emotion. You
Except,
get an
of
emo
course,
made about you.
except only you got that. Because I've sworn since then, and I do not have a command.
I have some choice words I need to say to these teams. That comes about essentially to the point of we need to start picking Tristana. I don't know how it is in the entire world of all the regions that would not be picking Tristana that somehow the VCS is the one.
Are you happy or sad with that rotation, Rebel? Because you got the Tristana, but you also got Syndra.
Not the Syndra, but they ruined the Flex Tristana. Like how? How could you possibly have? I just need a minute. Just take it. Need a minute.
Go, let him fight!
So,
I'm having so much fun. And Udi is locked in for DNK, taking away a speedy boy from
Team
Yujin.
Secret.
Well, he's already locked in.
It doesn't matter. He's got a horse.
I'm sorry.
He's got a whole horse.
I made a mistake.
Team,
But I like
I really
the,
Team
I like
Secret.
the Udi
Not
pick.
just. I like it coming in third, letting you secure the set. That is probably going. That can be either mid or support. That's fine. If it's a Syndra, you can
be top
easily
on
take
11-5 as well,
if it's
by the way.
Set. It can be top, but
Play.
I don't think you want to be picking set top line. Luckily, they do still have that flex potential if they save that spot for their top laner in that R5. Looking at these bans, though, Team Secret definitely looking to target the support, looking to take these things that shut down the Kaiser's ability to dive in, like the Galio. Team Secret continuously hitting the roam potential of Artifact. It is Edian, and it's also Venus. Slayer's finally getting time off for his kid.
Yeah.
Venus is in. Secret's old bot lane, so really this is a grudge match now. Now it's interesting.
Ooh.
Because DNK and Artifact have played with Celebrity and Venus for a long time. They went to Worlds together.
Yeah, that is going to be a Nah pick.
It's not.
It is not. No,
It's
no.
not.
Yeah, it's not.
I heard,
It's
you.
a safe line.
I heard you. Why not pick like Aurelia here instead of the Silas though?
Yeah, Aurelia would be pretty good. It would be very strong at the Prophet. Can you tell us the
R5 is
lottery?
good, people.
Can you tell us the lottery numbers for tomorrow?
7.
7. Ooh.
That's
strong.
it.
As the Aurelia has been locked in there for Zeros. Let's see how they want to round it out now with Venus's pick. TS
That better
so
be
far
enough.
assembling a pretty standard comp, while SBTC, I hate to call this standard.
It's
I hope
pretty
this
close
is
to standard.
I hope it's not.
It's pretty
I
close
don't
to
want it
standard.
be. But
So-
it's strong, for sure. It's strong.
Team Secret better lock in a support here, otherwise I'm going to be really, really mad about how they drafted. No, I hate
think this is
them.
Fine. No, I don't think you want to play. I think this is fine. I think Rise is a really good pick. Rise is strong. People have been
Rise,
sleeping on
no,
Rise.
okay,
Artifact has had great games.
Rise is strong. I do actually like Rise as a pick individually. It just makes me mad at how they've drafted. Because
Fair.
you could have just R4'd your mid lane counter. You could have done that the whole
True.
time. You could have picked Rise there.
It's
And
it's
you
true,
didn't.
but
And now you are going to get wrecked in top lane.
Yeah. Let's I want to get Rebel's opinion. You called the Irelia. It's now Nagia, a rookie player, up against Zeros, one of the most famed Vietnamese players of all time, on Irelia versus Nah. Is this going to go real bad?
Yeah, that's gonna go real bad. that's gonna go real bad. The only other thing I can think that could actually happen is so Rise isn't the greatest matchup into Aurelia, but it's at least something that's playable. And Syndra is not a champion, so Nar's perfectly fine into that. So I think if they wanted to actually swap lanes, there's potential there. The other thing is if you get into drafting strategy really quick, just to kind of respond, I guess, to Mobby's point, if they really wanted to go nuts, they could have maybe put Syndra into bot lane into the likes of thinking that it's going to be set support, and then they could have big brained them, which is why I guess you blind top lane there. I agree, it was a big mistake, and it probably shouldn't have ever happened out of fear of maybe that Syndra going bot lane, which isn't that big of a deal. But I assume that's the reason it happened. But I think lane swap shenanigans could come out, especially in the kind of mid levels here, just to make sure that you don't get a really, really bad start for the game for Nagia.
Nagia did play very well on the Gnar when we've last seen him, but Irelia is rough. Particularly Zeros's Irelia. We know what he can do. Definitely a trial by fire. Let's see if he can make his way through the hoops. We have a nice intro here. VCS production doing well. But Rebel, your final words, and who will be taking game 1?
I'll never bid for a Syndra number 1. Artifact playing the ultimate Rise skin. This is a TS win. Boom.
Easy peasy. I didn't even see what skin it was. We'll have to find out.
The ultimate Rise skin. Clearly.
Yeah, the ultimate one.
The issue.
The issue.
We did see Nagia play the Gnar before. It was up against Kiea, a very good player. So that's good news. It was, however, they didn't win.
No, they didn't. It was the second series. My mistake.
They didn't win. However, they did. It was a Malphite.
Yeah.
Irelia is a very different beast to a Malphite.
It's true.
It's a lot harder to look very good as a Gnar against a good Irelia.
Marby, can you tell me what Gnar's weapon is?
Gnar's weapon is a boomerang.
But it's a boomerang. Would you call a boomerang? Would you call a boomerang a blade? Because Nagia has opted.
Depends on what you make it out of.
Well, because Nagia has opted to bring a hail of blades. What do you think of that decision?
Well, I think it's very interesting. I don't know why.
Also,
you can
you
get a little bit of
never
bullying.
ever call a boomerang a blade. Just saying.
If you make it out of metal and sharpen it properly, it is technically a blade.
It is not a slashing weapon, but continue.
Again, depends how you build it. The archer class is made of archers.
Continue.
But
Hail of Blades talk.
Hail of Blades, it lets you bully, it lets you be very aggressive, and potentially really ramp up your rage bar at a rate faster than you could expect, but it doesn't matter because you died.
Okay. That happened.
That's first blood, by the way, so even though Zeros does die, it's still a victory for him. The wave is kind of in a bad position, but he can just teleport back up there. His jungler is on the way, so he has come out well ahead. Look, you get a refillable pot, 2, a longsword, and a dagger. That's a very happy Zeros right now. He is already smashing in CS. He has got the first blood, so he gets an extra 150 gold. He's still upset that he died in response, but he doesn't care. He's fully in command of this. He has put the stamp down and said, welcome, buddy. Now you're playing with the big boys.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid. And let's have a look at how this went down. It was just level 2 for Zeros. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, that is unlucky. The thing with hops in this game is your hitbox is really dodgy. So even though the model was outside of the E, he still sort of gets hit by it, and that lets Zeros go in for the kill. And now Zeros, he's set up the wave in a very good spot. If Nagia wants any farm, he's at huge risk from Yijin right now.
Yijin. Oh, and he doesn't get the double hop. He gets punted back, but the flawless duet missing. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So, what do we reckon? He'll go 1 and 6 in lane? That's my guess. Because this is done. This top lane is over.
It definitely depends on how much attention gets shown up here. If DMK decides, I need to protect my rookie, I need to protect my Gnar, he will come up and be able to salvage the situation, especially if Zeros reverts to his old ways of getting very aggressive in a matchup he's winning. However, if Yujin decides, I'm going to just play to Zeros. Zeros is on Aurelia. Zeros is 2 and 1. He is smashing in the item disparity. He can just keep going up there and farm Gnars. It's worked against GLX. Why can't it work against Team Secret as well?
So this is
across the map, it's even.
This is a question I want to ask you because I think there are differing opinions on it. I'm not 100% sure where I stand on it. If you're a jungler, if you're Yijin, do you keep ganking the top lane? Because Zeros is going to win that by himself now. And I'm not talking about counter ganks. You definitely want to counter gank if you can. But do you keep actively ganking that lane? Or do you try and transfer the lead elsewhere? What's your philosophy on that?
It does depend on the matchup. With Irelia, I think it's best to accelerate the Irelia as fast as possible because she's reasonably strong early in certain matchups, but she really, really does shine in that late game. So I think it's worth trying to get her as far ahead as possible, give her Rift Herald, give her all sorts of things, and make sure she can't be put back down by DNK. So I think you keep ganking that for this champion. If it was, if it's an Ornn or something, take it elsewhere. Go somewhere else, please. But Irelia, I think gank for her. Keep Gnar in the dirt. Get Irelia racing ahead. Maybe you try and give plates to Celebrity as well. It's all up to you. I don't know. I would say gank top. Just keep ganking top. It's very good. It's a very good strategy.
Yeah, it is a good strategy. I mean, again, I don't think there's a correct answer. I'm curious because different people have different thoughts on it. I think it does make a lot of sense as Dia1 rips the ultimate and nearly solo kills Artifact. The solo kill Maestro. The old memes nearly return, but in the end, Artifact does manage to survive on a sliver of health. CBL has roamed up. Zeros is very deep under tower, but Nagia's in a lot of trouble. They go straight back in. Bingo, bango, bongo. DNK over the wall, flashing on in. They're going to kill Zeros. Woo! I thought
Zeros, why? What have you done, you fool? So the stun comes down onto Yujin, and then Zeros is just like, I'm on half health. I'll take turret aggro.
This is not good.
This lead has this direction from CBL has given the bot lane of SBTC the push. They are able to take a turret plate, and that means any of the gold, the CS lead that Team Secret was getting. So credit to Eddie and CBL. It's gone now. It's gone now. It's back to within 1 CS of each other, but there's an extra turret plate. So Celebrity doing absolutely fine for himself.
Zombie Rise. That's like his third. That's like his third best skin. All right. Regardless, Dia1 with a slight lead in this mid lane.
I'm a fan of Uncle Sam Rise personally. It's not a great skin, but it just tickles me the right way.
I like the World Championship one. It's really nice. I like he's got the cup. I also like the pirate one. But anyway, let's not stay on Rise skins, as TS are on the roam. CBL will spot this ward, clear it out, nice and easy. They have lost their lead down on the bot side, as you pointed out. CBL's roam did cost Team Secret in the end. And Nagia, with just plated steel caps, I don't think that's enough to fend off more Zeros aggression.
I will probably dissuade any solo kills until that blade is at least completed, but that blade should be completed very soon, and I think what you need to do from Yujin is decide, are you going for Dragon Stacking, are you going for Rift Herald? I think you go for Rift Herald. They've kind of wasted a little bit of time handing off this blue buff, so they may get neither, because the Artifact reads, Dia1's gone to blue buff, we can take Red. We can take Dragon Run. So they do. Yeah. They come down, they take Dragon, and now they hear the shout go off, so Yujin's saying, well, I'm on top side, I may as well just go for this crab and maybe send that into a Rift Herald if I can get a little bit of assistance. I have permanent priority in the top lane. I'm not even going to go for the Rift Herald because I'm Yujin and I don't play by the rules.
Yeah, he is going to go up to the top side again, actually. It's target Gnar, and he can't get the hop. Nagia tries to flash away, actually successful this time. Zeros far too slow at this point, but it will be another tower plate for Irelia as Nagia limps back to lane, has DNK to cover him, so he is nice and safe. They do manage to keep the Gnar alive just this once.
Yujin tries to short the ultimate, and so the flash gets him out, gets him to safety, but it doesn't matter. Oh, but DNK's here.
Oh, he
It's
has
over.
gone mega as well. Zeros is in a lot of trouble, but
Oh,
it's
my
Irelia.
mind.
She's a drain tank, but takes the tower shot. DNK will finally pick up the kill. I thought we were having the nightmare scenario of the 2v1, but it is just a 1-for-1, which honestly is a win for Team Secret.
It's a win. It's a shutdown. It's going to get worse before it gets better, but it's slowly getting better. And now, because they've rotated Eddie back down to the bot lane, as soon as they see him, they can go for this Rift Herald again. Zeros is, he's got such a advantage on Nagia in terms of levels that he takes so much longer to respawn that, they could have actually turned into something. But here we see Zeros gets pushed under tower, so takes a lot of damage from that, but the damage is insane.
Mid lane, Dia1, he's caught, he got show stopped, and Artifact will clean him up, and the gear's dead.
He is dead. By the way, it's Dia1 almost picked up a kill in that trade down bot lane. There's still no Rift Herald being taken, which is a huge oversight. I think
it's being taken now.
I think it's being taken now. Yeah. It's so we're good. We're good on that front. And now they can. Now they don't even need to drop it top. They can just drop it into the mid lane. They can give that gold to Dia. They can take a bot lane and give it to Zeros once they swap the lanes around, because that's what they should be doing right now. I think they just move Celebrity to mid. Then you can drop it mid and give it to Celebrity. That's fine as well. Look how close DNK gets.
And then this is the gear play. Well played from Venus there. Good shield. I think it made a bit of a difference, but yeah, Zeros is pretty far ahead. 1-5 now for Nagia. Has the Blade of the Ruin King does Zeros compared to just the half-bound axe. Tower goes down, and that's almost a blessing.
Kind of insane. Yeah. It's kind of insane how Yijin didn't manage to sneak away any of them, because now Zeros is so far ahead because he got all the gold, and he just got.
It's all right though. He is Hecarim. We'll be able to run, but now Venus has to dive away. Does manage to do it. Good mobility.
Yeah, and Nagia's dead.
Nagia's dead.
What was this about a blessing?
Zeros died though. That's a shutdown.
Oh, that is a shutdown. That's actually worth for Nagia. That's huge for Nagia. That's a lot of gold back. Now we're going to have to sort of talk about the half-bound axe. It's going into the stride breaker, of course. I don't think the half-bound axe was where you should have stopped off first. I think you're so far down, you should have just rushed a Bramble Vest. Just try and make it so diving is even harder. But it's rough. It's really rough for them. They're going to drop the Rift Herald, give it over to Celebrity. He's having a great time. His top side is just smashing. He's pretty much gone even, and now he gets to have the fruit of the top lane's labor. Ooh. Oh, but he may be caught out. So
I don't think
Eddie can assassinate, but not with the minion.
They don't know that Venus is backed as well, so he's okay. Celebrity will back off just fine. Eddie, we haven't talked about him very much so far. He's of course another rookie in this game. This is actually his first game this split. I mean, I think he's still a rookie. He didn't play 3 games last split. He played like 1 or 2. I think he's still
technically he played 3, but
did he? I think we still count him as a rookie. Even though he did play a couple last split. Oh, there's the showstopper. It'll go straight into the bear slap, and Dia1. Well, Syndra's not a champion.
Syndra is not a champion at all, and they're not setting up their vision around the mid lane at all. SPTC as a whole have just been very lax on their vision. Their main vision has been, well, we see champion and we kill champion, therefore we know that champion is no longer around to gank us. However, when you're only killing the Gnar, that still leaves 4 other champions to deal with, and that has netted Team Secret another dragon. It's the hope. They've got 2 dragons, it's an ocean rift. If they can stall out till there, they can stall out until this Rise becomes that late game powerhouse that we all know and love. And then we can just all sit back and enjoy the Blue Man Group taking over the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy for Rise. Has to navigate through Tristana and Irelia. But yeah, the Blue Man Group is still, they're a good act. They've been running for so long for a reason. This might be a very early game Flame Horizon as well. Zeros approaches.
Oh god, it is.
Approaches 100 CS over Nakia. This is brutal for the rookie. I think we might be seeing coded back in this game. Let's be real. It depends how it ends, I suppose.
So
Despite this gap in the top
great.
side, Team Secret not as far behind as you'd think.
It's about 4K. Actually, closer to 3. Sorry, but it is all on the top side, as we just saw. There is 8,000 gold on Zeros compared to the 5 on Nagia. So yeah, it's all in top lane. If Zeros isn't there, if there's just a 4v4 on the other side of the map, it's very winnable for Team Secret because it's dead even basically. Now, of course, it depends on how much can Zeros get done while that 4v4 is happening in the side lane, which could be a lot. He has no qualms of just solo killing Nagia and again. He's gone for the Triforce, so he's now even better at dueling.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 items to none.
Yeah, I mean,
It's 2 items to none. He's even gone for the Merc Treads because he's more frightened about DNK coming in and stunning him than he is Nagia doing damage, all the tower damage. It's insane how much
valid as
how
well.
little Nagia does in this game.
Nagia is a ranged minion, and every now and then he turns into a cannon minion. That's about all he's got going for him. This is a very rough game, to say the least. Sound like a bit of a broken record there. But as you said, if a 4v4 breaks out, Team Secret, there's no reason they can't win that 4v4. They are pretty much even in that sense. And this is Zeros. We know sometimes he overcommits to the side lane a little bit too much. He's very strong, and it's not a bad decision to sit in the side lane, but we know sometimes he's a little bit sloppy with his vision, and they can collapse on him.
Yeah, the main SBTC as a whole has been very sloppy with the vision this game. They've got a little bit set up around the second Rift Herald, but they haven't pushed it in. They've got their entrances to the jungle covered, but they haven't really gotten in any deep wards, so they don't have any eyes on DNK. It's complete darkness for them there. They actually have one on the red buff, so that gives them a little bit, but with the red buff not there, they know no one's going to go for it. So it's not actually all that helpful, but they can't really check into it. They're very focused around keeping the gears safe and trying to catch out Zeros, which just means free reign of the map for SBTC. They can take this Rift Herald, they can drop it mid and break open even more gold for Celebrity. Or if they want to get really spicy, they can try and hard shove with Deer and take it to top and try and bust an inhibitor.
That would be very spicy. I'm not a huge fan of this decision from Team Secret. They are super, as you said, they're very much trying to hover around Nagia, make sure they can try and get him back in the game. Honestly, I feel like at this point, like, you've been shot in the leg with a shotgun. You just have to amputate it. You can't put a band-aid on it. It's not going to help. Just cut the damn leg off. He's gone. Doesn't matter anymore. You need to go, actually get back in the fight. You're not going to save this leg.
The issue with the whole amputating the leg thing is the leg if you cut off the leg, if you just say, all right, Nagia, go off, do your thing, we ignore you, chances are the leg just continues to fester. The wound continues to fester, even though the leg's been removed. Because he can't play 1v1 up against Zeros. It's just impossible for him to do. As we see this dragon fight coming up, though, Team Secret are in position first, but Irelia has a decent position to set up a flank. They've got the Rift Herald to take mid pressure. SBTC should have full control of this drag.
Yeah, the Rift Herald charges. Team Secret give up river control. And it doesn't look like they want to... Oh, it looks like they do want to actually come back in. As DNK is here. CBL. DNK, can he get close enough? He's going to move forward, but the Buster shot's good. There it is. The Drake is secured. Oh my god, the huge knock-up. And then the Gnar is good as well, though. This could be a turnaround, but look at this. Celebrity will pick up 1 kill, reset the top. DR1 getting zoned out by DNK, and it's all going SBTC. They fire back with 1 kill, but it's a triple kill for Celebrity, and that is going to be all but DNK removed from the Rift.
and gold transfer complete. It was just a huge setup from Venus and Yijin. It kept them down for so long. Zeros and Celebrity were able to dish out so much damage. And now with this numbers advantage, they have a Tristana. They have a turret they prepared earlier. That's another 1,000 gold into their pockets. They are going to race into the gold lead. I mean, they're already in the gold lead, but now they're 5,000 ahead. They can just take this. They can reset, build up their items. And here we see, look, it's a good work from Celebrity and Venus. The Buster shot to get him away, then huge engage. It's a little bit... They leave Venus a little bit high to try, and Yijin actually whiffs completely. Never mind, Yijin, you're fired. You're terrible. But it doesn't matter. Look how much damage Zeros and Celebrity are putting out because everyone's focused on Zeros. They get him in the end, but Celebrity's just free-firing, and Tristana is still terrifying. Absolutely fantastic team fighting out of SBTC. They look so much better as a team coming in today.
That they do. This has been pretty fantastic from SBTC. That first test of the actual team fight, I definitely agree. Their synergy seems on point, and SBTC, when they get their synergy on point, is a great team. It just doesn't happen very often. So that is not what Team Secret wants to see. This is going to be a hard one to come back from. We do see it's the 4,000 gold lead in the top side, and it's beginning to develop into other places as well, particularly that bot lane. The triple kill for Celebrity is now 2k up. Not the best situation for Team Secret, to say the least. Not unwinnable, though. This game is not over, even though perhaps it should be.
I have to say a very interesting thing SBTC is doing that is can sort of bite them in the ass, like if they, in other situations, probably not so much likely this game, but their spread of gold, who they want to give their waves to, who they allocate the gold on the map to, because it's very even. It's a very even split. The only reason Zeros and Celebrity are so far ahead is because they've picked up a bunch of kills and tower plates. Whereas looking at their farm, it's very, very even. It's not like, oh, we're funneling it all onto Celebrity, we're funneling it all onto Dia. No, they don't. Everyone gets a share. Everyone gets a go, which, you know, isn't usually the best. Usually you want to pick one or two people that really carry. In this case, you'd say, well, Zeros, you just stick in your side lane. You get everything on that side of the map. Take their jungle, take the wave, have fun, go nuts, and then we'll give all the rest to Celebrity because he's the secondary carry. You know, Syndra's just a stun bot. That's all she is at this stage. Sure. She does a little bit of damage onto the squishies, but she's a stun bot. We don't need to feed her. But no, Dia's still getting his share. Dia's still saying, no, look, no, guys, I can do damage. Look, I press R, I skillful. I use big skill.
It's interesting, because I'm not sure if that's, like, the correct decision. Because, I mean, Dia is just a stun bot.
If it was Dia on the rise, I would be like, go for it, go crazy. I don't mind what Team Secret's doing, sharing it between Rise and the Kaiser. They've given up on the gear, as you say,
I think
as before. They're not going to give him extra resources. He just scrounges for what he can in the side lane. That's correct. Hold Zeros back as much as you can and try not to die. Whereas all the gold gets funneled onto Artifact and Eddie. I think more should be funneled onto Artifact in this moment. I think the Rise just does more, is just more important right now because Eddie Eddie can do a lot. It's a Kaiser. Kaiser can always do a lot, but I think it's a lot more important to keep Artifact safe, keep him able to punch out the damage because he needs the extra help to be safe, basically.
SBTC, Secret doesn't know this is happening. They might find out, but DNK has flash. There's a ward, there's a teleport. Zeros could answer.
Oh, he cancelled it.
He cancelled it. My stream is frozen. Oh, it comes back. There's a Nars. Zeros is under tower. Nagia, stride breaks. But still can't take this fight. Yeah, still can't take this fight.
Minions get out. So it's a teleport force. It is interrupted, so they can just sort of go back to good, but they're gonna probably look to just rebuild their vision. And actually, never mind the Baron. It's time for Dragon because they don't want to really give that soul point over to Team Secret. It could be their way back into it, so they're going to play it nice and safe. Zeros teleporting in to make sure they have maximum power available for this fight. Team Secret, they may just look to give it up.
I think they should. This is fine. One Ocean Drake does not mean very much for SBTC. Team Secret don't get Soul Point, but that's fine. They're very far behind at the moment. They don't want to take any fights as Zeros cleans up. He has hit the Flame Horizon. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. 100 CS ahead of Nagia. I'm honestly surprised it took this long.
Yeah, he did start pulling back a little bit, which is fair. SBTC were focusing a lot of their attention to the top side, not giving him the vision to split push with Reckless Abandon, and he plays it properly. He plays it very safe. He's pushing up into the tower, letting them chip away, and then he's backing off, trying to hunt for extra jungle creeps, trying to set up ambushes, trying to roam in and see if he can look for something. He's not just aggressively walking up and trying to hit the tower like it's solo queue. He's just playing it very nice and safe. Venus looking for a bit of a jungle mission, and I don't want to. And I'm very interested in next game. I'm very interested to see if this look of SBTC continues into the next game and into the next series, and how much is Venus providing in that case.
Nagia? Okay. Zeros
finds a good
feels...
drop.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Zeros there assumed someone else was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, and they get a catch on to Venus. He goes gold, but will it get him away? It certainly will, at least for now. And the Kaiser bullets will get in, but now Celebrity firing gets DNK low. Artifact with a couple of Qs, but not enough. Tier1 going forward, gets Eddie's flash.
Flash forced.
That's a lot of resources burned.
It's a small win for Team Secret as they actually wind up with the kill, but they have to be very careful. They think something's happening to Baron, but no, it's just a bait. They pick up CDL with the stuns, and now they're going to turn to Baron. Now it's a numbers advantage. DNK is too low. He has to try and regain health somewhere off these wolves, but it doesn't matter. The Baron's gone.
The Baron is gone. There's no flash, no blast cone, no chance for DNK. He's not even close to the objective. That is Baron secured for SBTC, and as we go further and further on, 8k gold lead, they are closing the door and locking it tight.
They're absolutely shutting it. They have such a great lead. They're full item up in most of their positions. They're 2 items up in top lane. Mid's actually pretty even, but, you know, that's to be expected. Tier1 has had a rather quiet game, as Yijin is caught. He's gone.
Yep. Yijin just got put in the dirt.
And that's a death brush. It's a very effective death brush. They had no reason to be there, so Yijin was just like, I can take these Raptors. That makes sense. That's absolutely fine. Now they can try and rotate this into the turret, but Dia, he now knows they're on bot side. He's playing safe.
Yep.
Is he playing safe enough?
Actually, I'm not sure he spotted them, you know.
No, he hasn't. Team Secret are playing very, very interestingly here. But with the wave clear, they can't really set up the dive, so now that's just wasted time. That's another tower. That's a tower on the top lane for Zeros. They can't really push in the mid wave. There's still too much wave clear. But if they actually set up their waves properly, they can get a big crash and push and finish off these outer structures. And that should just be enough to get them into... They're just looking for those last outer turrets. Get them to gold. Look for a fight around the next Ocean Drake as well. If Team Secret gives it to them, Team Secret may not. In which case, then we'd be looking at the Baron or the next dragon after that.
We do potentially have a little ways to go, but that is another tower taken there for SBTC. They continue to grow their lead, gain more and more real estate off of the map. Team Secret are just desperately farming. I don't want to see Nagia get a single minion here.
I don't mind him getting one. Get 1 or 2. Just throw out your boomerang blade. Not your boomerang blade, your boomerang regular. And
DNK charging in. Zeros is doing a lot of damage. There's the Vanguard's Edge, and the horse has joined the fight. Oh my word, it's a bit of a massacre, but now it's on Eddie. He can actually pop off here. They knock Zeros into the Guardian Angel. Eddie's still here, trying to keep going, but unfortunately the Guardian Angel does its job. And it's a 1-for-1, but the inhib picked up for SBTC.
Yeah, and
they're
the
going to rotate it into a second
crack
one.
perfect time. They can pick up 2 inhibitors. And they might not pick up this inhibitor, but it's open. They're gonna just rotate into the dragon. Team Secret really can't look to contest this. So as both junglers down, it's still a huge advantage for SBTC. Zeros trading his Guardian Angel for the inhibitor, absolutely worth. It's just great use of force. It looked like maybe Team Secret was going to make a play. Maybe they could turn that fight around, but it's just the wallets are too heavy. They just swing them around and don't die. Only Yijin goes down, and that's your tank. He's meant to do that.
There's a teleport coming in. Artifact gets immediately interrupted. Nagia moving forward. They want to try and kill Zeros. They should be able to, finally. He lives for a long time. Now DNK moving forward. The good charm out of Venus. And DNK's been killed by Dia1. On the backside, the skill button comes in. God, Syndra is such a good champion. Hey, Rebel. As that is only a 1-for-1 despite everything being committed by TS.
It's a 1-for-1, but realistically, that is a huge power swing to Team Secret. Zeros is still a lot more gold than DNK is worth, so the balance is shifted down to maybe not the 10k advantage. Maybe it's only like an 8k advantage in the 4v4, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to have to give up that turret because it's still an 8k advantage in the hypothetical. But Venus may be a little bit slower. If you can get Tier 1, it's fine. He's good. He's good. He's a Rakan. He's a slippery boy.
Yeah,
he's all lacquered up.
Oh god. Let's have a look at this top lane play that may well have been the final nail in the coffin.
And Zeros goes in hard with Yijin, but because they're just kind of all in alone, their damage really isn't there yet besides Zeros. Dia and Celebrity are so far away that it just ends up being like a 1-for-1 in the 3v5. And the Celebrity rocks them is like, oh, yay, turret. I'll take that. And it looked like it could be better because, hey, it was actually only a 3v5. First time around, I thought people were closer because they come out of the mayhem and flashing lights and visual noise and Celebrity. So I was like, oh, Celebrity was there the whole time. No, he wasn't. He just showed up late and took a tower.
Oh my word. Sorry. Rakan getting very territorial as Celebrity clears out this mid wave. The gold lead grows ever further and further, but of course gold leads matter less and less as the game goes on. All it takes is one miracle team fight and Team Secret is right back and Nagia is dead.
I don't know about you, but that's not how you start miracle team fights.
They catch on to Yijin though. Nagia for Yijin's a damn good trade. That's trading your Charizard for someone's like, I don't know, Bulbasaur. As oh dear. Oh no, never mind. Well, they just took their Pikachu. Yeah, well that's no. Oh, Celebrity. Ooh, stinky. Oh, that's good.
So just so while I run it down and finish the game, I need to complain about that analogy.
Shut up.
I like Bulbasaur a lot more than Charizard. I think Charizard's garbage, and that's going to get inflamed. But it's still worth more than a Bulbasaur.
SVTC has taken the game. That was a dominant game, particularly out of Zeros. I think I know where the MVP is going to go. As Zeros and SVTC take a dominant game 1. And as we said, this series is potentially split defining for both teams. So Team Secret, they need to go back to the drawing board. And SBTC, just run that one straight back.
Yeah, I think if I'm SBTC, the only thing I'm looking to change is draft order, maybe get a better mid lane pick, but realistically, if Zeros can just stomp the top lane like that, you don't need to change a thing. You don't need to do a damn thing. And you're on red side now, so Zeros better be getting that counter pick.
Yeah, you'd think so. We'll have to see if we do go back to the Slater coded or if the rookies will still be trusted. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be here on VCS English.
Awake to my voice.
Welcome back, everybody. It's game 2. Team Secret versus SBTC. SBTC off to a fantastic start here in this series. We are, of course, rejoined by our faithful analyst. What was your take on that game 1?
I mean, we called it from the beginning. The Gnar was going to struggle. The Gnar struggled, and then even better, the initial bottom part of the map was going okay for the side of Team Secret, but it was really nice from SBTC to actually transition their lead and top side into the bottom side of the map, start taking team fights, everything of the sort. And it was a little bit of pushback from Team Secret, but that wasn't ever really going to amount to anything. It was just spectacular play coming out of what happened here. SBTC just ran the game pretty much.
Well, unfortunately, can you guys hear something? I can kind of hear a storm gathering. It sounds like witches being punched. The curse is being activated. Your Way has tweeted.
Oh, no.
Dun, dun, dun. And for those of you that don't know, Your Way is our other analyst. Whenever he praises a team, that team immediately turns to pure poo-poo. So, SBTC fans, if SBTC lose now, go get angry at Your Way. He's not on broadcast tonight. You can't blame us. We tried to contain him. In all seriousness, jokes aside, how does Team Secret get back into this one, Marby?
You're always going to have to punch a much higher power witch. I think maybe Angela Merkel? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. We're going to have to see a completely new draft strategy come out of them, because picking a bunch of losing lanes didn't work. Punching a witch with a counter matchup probably works a lot better. Unfortunately, you're on blue side now, so your top lane is probably scuffed. You're probably going to have to put Coded back in. Eddie was fine. That can go either way. I don't care. Give him another round if you want. Put Slater back in if you want, if you feel that's much more serious. Considering the implications this series has, put Slater in.
I think it's also quite likely that they probably scrim as a block. So if Eddie's in, Nagia's in, and if Nagia's not in, Eddie's probably not in. That's probably what I would guess. So I think if Nagia's out, which, let's be real, I think Nagia should be out. I think Slater will be back in. We are heading into Champion Select, but as we do, Rebel, I want to get your thoughts on how SBTC closed this one out.
They actually had a really good strategy last time, which was, again, for me, SBTC has always been a team that's been just really responsive to what the other team is doing and just playing around the map in that regard and just kind of taking whatever is given to them, never really pushing for a win in the game, forcing the other team to kind of take the advantage. In that game, they had a really good job playing around a very good counter matchup they had in the top lane and an advantageous player-on-player matchup as well, where the skill was just very clearly diffed in top side, and then also transitioning it into later in the game. They had a really defined bottom side where it's like, okay, we're not going to go for early dragons, we're not doing anything crazy, we're just going to play to top, move top into bot, and then win the game from there. That's all they got to do. Do exactly that all over again. Just make yourselves a win condition, play to it, use it to win the rest of the map, and they're perfectly fine. This is the best I've seen them actually play the majority of the split.
Nagia is still in. That is surprising. After the performance in Game 1, I really thought Coded would be coming back, but apparently they've got faith in the rookie, and hey, maybe he can redeem himself. I'd like to see him redeem himself. One game, it happens. Rel is going to be the first pick. This is presumably going to be traded for a Tristana. If I'm Team Secret, I prefer the Tristana side of that trade, just to take it out of, it's so flexible for SBTC.
Yeah, I think the Tristana would be a pretty good lock-in here. You could also look to take away your jungle pick. I don't think you'd necessarily need to. Again, you can always fall back to the Skarner. That's not likely to hit the bench. So Tristana would be good. You could also see the Kai'Sa, because thank you, it's not going to be the Kai'Sa. Please, enough Kai'Sa. No one likes Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is boring. Get no laugh though. We're already sort of going down this jungle tier list. We've lost Hecarim, we've lost Udyr, we've lost Lilia. We're moving on to the good old Olaf, big Viking man. Let's see if he can get off to a good start. It worked out really well for Flash in the first series, but we'll have to see.
And Team Secret do secure a very strong bot lane. I know you hate Kai'Sa, and yeah, we're all a little bit bored of her.
It's boring.
But Rel Kai'Sa is
That's
a
all.
very strong combo. Great synergy between the two champions, particularly in team fights. As Rise for Dia1, I'm sure Rebel might be a little bit upset because they take away some of the flex of the Tristana immediately, but I think the Rise is a solid pick.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. I know Dia1, I'm pretty sure in the previous split actually played Rise a little bit, not nearly to the extent of
very
like
good
the
at it.
mid-laners. Yeah, this is the one like AP champion. I seem to remember him doing well. So I'm perfectly fine with this. Now they can ban out mid-laners and pinch off this pool. In the previous one, I was upset because they got rid of it immediately, and they also picked Syndra, which is like, that's already a no-no for me. But picking Rise here, I think, is perfectly acceptable, especially when you have consider what the Lee Sin does in this particular case. Also, I love Alistar up against Rel. I feel like this matchup for Alistar is amazing in the majority of cases, and while like Rel has quite a bit of counterplay and ability to actually take it to the opposite side, and like actually has quite a bit of counterplay between these two matchups on both sides, I just think that Alistar is amazing for this particular matchup. I think Alistar is the exact perfect response to Rel, and actually provides quite a bit more for your team as well in terms of like engage, disengage, anything that you want.
So
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
it's worth mentioning the Nocturne and Twisted Fate were available and not picked by Team Secret, so they are really looking to move away from that old style that they relied on so heavily. Coated may have been a big part of that. This Trundle lock would be weird, especially with how few tanks are. It is a counter to Olaf, because when the Ragnarok, if you steal stats before Ragnarok gets popped, then DNK is just even squishier. Plus, you can't,
Negative armor.
plus, Pillar still works as CC against him, but it's very interesting to see coming out this early in the draft. I think that would be something you'd prefer to save as a last pick, and negating a Scion into a Trundle is just a little bit silly, my friend. Cho'Gath is on the board. Yes, thank you!
Choggers! Chog Champ! Let's go! The legacy of Jensen
Thank you.
carries on! Chog Champ!
I asked
love
for
it.
this exact pick on Twitter earlier this week after watching Zoom pop the hell off against RNG in this exact matchup, and it was the same in the LCK. Khan again. What? No, it was Khan on Zero on the Scion getting dumpstered by the Cho'Gath. It was beautiful, fantastic pick.
Well, we've definitely heard what Marby thinks about this. Rebel, what's your read on this draft?
Yeah, first off, I love Scion. I think Scion's amazing right now, and it's like my personal like blind pick when I'm on blue side and I don't get to see what the info's in top laner. But Cho'Gath, it makes such a mess for this lane. If you go full farming, Cho'Gath ends up outscaling. If you go for early trades, like Cho'Gath has more than enough damage and sustain to live through what Scion can bring. It's kind of difficult to get. Like, ganking is definitely a possibility here into the likes of Saros, but the way this matchup went last time, it's not big. I will say the one complaint I have about SBTC's draft is this Trundle. It's good, but I think there's actually better champions. But I don't know how good the Yujin is. I could talk about what I would have preferred here, but I don't think that
He's a
matters
good
anymore.
He is a good
Yeah,
one.
that's fair. My thought was something else, but I'm not going to go into that. But I think both teams have actually constructed compositions remarkably well for this game.
Yeah, I do agree. I feel like both teams have walked away pretty happy. There's excellent ball delivery for Team Secret. Scion, I think I agree with you. Rebel, he's a super strong pick at the moment. Rel Kai'Sa is a lot of synergy, but I love the SBTC comp as well. It's so cool. It's so much fun. But Rebel, before I let Marby cut in, I know you want to talk, but Rebel, you need to tell me, are we going to Game 3?
I'm going to call for Game 3 only because I want to see a Game 3 between these two, whether these drafts continue into Game 3. So yeah, I'm going to call it just for more League of Legends.
I am fully on board with that one. I want a Game 3. So I guess I'm a Team Secret fan for this game at least, just because I want a third game. Marby, go ahead, take it away.
Okay, so where the SPTC comp falls down, they have excellent answers into everything that SPTC's put forth. They've got the Trundle counterpick into Olaf, the Cho'Gath into Scion, the Alistar into Rel. It's all beautiful. Unfortunately, when it comes together, you're left sort of lacking a little bit of initiative. You really have to rely on that Alistair to make the plays happen, or a big flank for that Rupture to come through for the Cho'Gath. Because, I mean, you have pick tools. The Trundle Pillar is still one of the best tools at making picks in the game, but that's it. You've got pick tools. You don't have full team fight engages, as we see a late invade coming in from Team Secret.
Late invade, I love it. The flash away from Yijin. They are going to fight over the blue buff. I'm going to try and trap who gets it. No, he's not. He's going to wander away. The blue buff goes down. Yijin didn't get it, so I have to assume that DNK did. Yijin. Oh, he needs to find one more axe. That's a smart smite onto the wolves, but in the end, the Olaf will still get the kill. Trundle down. Guess who got trolled?
Someone died. Yeah, someone died. The late invade coming in huge. CBL much stronger in the level 1
Smart
than
stuff.
the Alistair. Overall, the team much stronger in the level 1, especially with Yijin going for that chump, as you'd expect in the sort of farm, but because you're not expecting that late invade. And it just winds up with a huge win for DNK. He gets the smite. He gets to clear the entire blue side quadrant. He's may just look for vertical jungling. We can't be sure just yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if he rushes across that mid lane to try and secure the 3 buff.
Yeah, we'll have to say he is pinging his own Raptors at the moment. So.
Yeah, judging by pings.
I want to sort of comment just briefly. Something Yulwei often says about the invades is if you go for an early invade, you're just cheesing for kills. If you go for a late invade, you're going for the buff and jungle positioning. Team Secret got both. They late invaded, which I think is better. But they got a kill as well, so they kind of got the best of both worlds. DNK is actually moving over here. He wants to try and get a bit of a contest on the buff, but it's going to be taken away. Oh, I thought the axe might come in time.
The buff is taken down, but that's basically one of the least important aspects. You've got the other 2 camps. You get the Grump, that's a huge amount of experience. You get the Wolves, that's some more gold. You haven't 3 buffed, but you've almost done 3 whole quadrants to the 1 that Yijin is going to get. And yeah, we just see really good late invade. They have so much more CC available. Venus not able to actually interrupt the crash down. He's just kind of gets a really late pulverize and it provides nothing. He just ends up having to walk away. And Yijin pays the price because there's still all the CC. There's the axes. There's the rel. And it's just so much. It's way too much for them to deal with. They get the kill. Yeah. So on the invades thing, I'm just going to throw in one last thing about that. With certain picks, like a Braum, like a Blitzcrank, early invades are great because you can cheese kills extremely well, of course. But with this comp, late invade, much better. With the current meta, late invade's much better.
Mm-hmm. So I have an interesting fact. I have an interesting fact for you. As Celebrity will get away, so I have time to talk. Oh, hang on. It might have to be after this game, because Yijin has gone up top. As Nagia, he's Dunzo, I think. He's going to get chomped. He's going to get popped up in the air. The zombie comes out, but it is going to be the kill. Zeros doing well. But I have an interesting fact for you. The last time that Zeros played Cho'Gath was a loss. Is Eddie backing off? The VCS won't let me talk. It was a loss against a team called FFQ. FFQ was bought by Loki, and Loki was bought by Team Secret. Will history repeat itself? He's got 1 kill up on the top side, but it looks like they're going to try and turn it around and get 2 on the bottom. It's a 2-for-1 down on the bot side for Team Secret. Zeros has TP'd.
Zeros?
Dia 1 here as well.
Can't get over. Dia might make it happen though.
Yeah, but they're just going to try and turn this around. Kai'Sa damage coming in from the W as well. Dia 1 at this point doesn't do a huge amount of damage. As DNK rushing on forward. Can't quite hit that axe, so he will get away.
Yeah, that's 2 teleports invested for SPTC, and they get absolutely nothing out of it. The only kill they got was CBL on the dive, and that's not good. That's a lot of free time for Nagia to catch back up in the CS, catch back up in experience, actually get way ahead in experience, because now and he's going to get a good chunk of damage down onto this tower and probably going to get played thanks to the Demolish. Team Secret just get away so well out of this. SPTC fumble hard.
I mean, if we're allowed to talk about prime skins, Scion Lumberjack, it's right up there. But let's have a look at this replay.
Yeah, we just see a little bit of a fumble. Good. I mean, the rocket jump was good for Celebrity to keep CBL slowed, and I don't think it was getting out anyway, having used the flash for the engage, or at least he'd used it at some point, didn't have it. And then D1, he's just not strong enough. Zeros gets kind of trolled by terrain and just winds up providing a whole lot of nothing. So in the end, 2 teleports wasted. That's massive teleport advantage for Team Secret coming on. They can make plays with this Orianna, whereas teams SPTC, they just kind of lose what little initiative they have. It's now extremely hard for them to get things done. But Eugen, hovering on the spot side, may be looking to get the bot side to overextend or go for this dragon if they can get the push back. Team Secret playing very safe.
Still lurking. CBL, the big thing here is, does CBL get baited? Nope. Nijin will trundle back off into the jungle. Might have actually been spotted by that Prey Seeker, I'm not sure. But regardless, Team Secret so far playing it well. The top side is, it's not much fun. Ooh, hello, we've got an engage. CBL going forward onto Venus. It's a lot of damage, but it is an Alistair. As D&K arrives, he pops the Ragnarok. I think they want to go under the tower. This is so bold. It's a lot of damage. But Venus, will he burn down? He certainly won't. They have full priority now. This should be a tower plate and a teleport.
Yeah, they want to try and force as much as they can get out of this. They're going to get a dragon at least. Pick up a second tower plate. Make sure they get something for Artifact investing the teleport. But now Celebrity can't farm the wave. He's denied entirely Yijin. Venus is sticking around for some reason. He provides no use here. Just don't even bother, my man.
But Dia's getting tower plates on the other side. I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, the teleport was very greedy, them looking to try and either make a dive or... And
Dia actually doesn't get a plate.
Yeah,
he actually doesn't get a plate.
That's right. It doesn't actually have enough pushing power to really punish, and it's actually a little bit of a fight in the top jungle as Zeros picked himself up a blue buff.
Yep, he steals away the blue buff. That's smart.
And it's going to come down to Zeros again. Zeros is going to be the big factor in this game, as he flubs everything and misses all the CS. So never mind, Zeros, you're fired. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link.
We're going to call up Team Secret. They've got at least two substitutes in the top lane, so maybe we can borrow one that can farm. Thank you. No, obviously
he's doing all right. He does have.
He's still winning.
He's doing all right, but now D&K having a look in here. The Ragnarok will stop the rupture, and D&K picks up a kill and rock and rolls on out. Zeros is taken down.
I wish to reiterate my previous statement. He is fired. No. Yeah, so, however, that said, he has revealed himself on the top side, has D&K, so that's going to be a quick rotate into this crab and presumably into this dragon as going to be the trade dragon for Herald. Big win for the side of D&K. Oh my god. SBTC! You
I looked away for half a
didn't
second.
even go for it. You knew he was on top side. You didn't see him rushing down mid lane, so he likely wasn't going to be in position to really contest. Maybe he would have gone for a steal, but he's used Ragnarok. Just use a headbutt. He's gone. You have headbutt. You have buster shot. You can keep the Olaf out without Ragnarok. Just take the dragon. Take the dragon, please.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded seeing that, but not the decision that SVTC has gone for. They are playing it very safe. Ooh, Shockwave in the mid lane. Artifact just using it for a little bit of damage. D&K coming in. This gets threatening. Dia1 has to flash.
Yep. Very good job. Held on to it as long as he could, but seeing the
Artifact? Artifact, you are an absolute Chad.
How on earth did he do? Okay.
Man, so Chad, he has a border with Cameroon.
Dear. Okay, alright, so.
Oh, and he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Eventually. There we go. Should have left that. Oh no, Zeros' ult was down. That's fine. you can take that. That's all good. But with all that said, that pressure in the mid lane secures them another tower, and Zeros has just been wandering around. He's been trying to impact the rest of the map instead of focusing on his own lane, and that has left Nagia in a very good position right now. We just see a bit of a rundown. The good shockwave comes out, does a lot of damage, and then here, GL1 just doesn't expect it, but seeing him walking up, he clearly had enough cognizance to put the rune prison down, but he didn't set it up to get the root, so it doesn't actually wind out working for him. And wow, Yijin is just taking all the spoils. Apparently, they've decided Yijin is the mid laner, not Zeros. Zeros just gets to sit in the bush, and that is not practiced.
Yeah, it doesn't look it. Oh, but Artifact might have just redeemed it for them as he steps back and, okay, what? Artifact? That's just dumb.
Yeah, look, Artifact getting not really respecting how low those cooldowns are and just getting popped up by the second rupture. However, again, Yijin spending all his time pretending to be a mid laner means that bot lane turret that just goes down because of the Rift Herald, and Team Secret running SBTC around the map. They are not responding very well. They are not making many proactive plays. Yijin has done nothing on this Trundle. He's been slow in his farm. He's been bad in his ganks. He's just... The only really successful gank he got was that top lane one. He was kind of gifted that second kill by Artifact, but it's just... This counter pick's not working. I think a more traditional meta jungler would have worked a lot better for them. Would have given them a bit more agency to make engages rather than just relying on one or two picks. It's just not coming together for SBTC with this composition.
It's interesting because the Trundle was actually picked fairly early before the Scion, so it doesn't even seem like it was much of a counter pick. It was into the Olaf.
It was out of the Olaf.
But... Like, I definitely don't think it's... I agree with you. I just don't think it's worth it just to counter Olaf. Like, just Trundle's not in that strong a state at the moment. This is not Legends of Runeterra. As Eddie, with CBL backing them up, will take another tower plate right out from under Zeros' nose. This Cho'Gath definitely still has a lot of potential, but it's not hard. It's not it's not easy to get value out of the Chog champ as the game goes on.
So the Choggers was doing extremely well into the laning phase, as you'd expect, but it wasn't really played through. We saw one gank go up there, and then the rest of the map just kind of lost, and Zeros decided, instead of trying to double down and win and have one winning position on the map, he'd try and help the rest of his team, and that really sort of buggered it up for him. Because now he's not really in a strong position. He's about on par with Nagia, if not behind, due to platings and turrets and all that. So really, SBTC is just losing across the map. They're going to have to look for a massive team fight play to turn this around, or, you know, some sort of pick into objective, swing of events that Team Secret can't respond to. And I don't think they really have the tools to do it. They have the Rise ultimate to maybe make something happen. He is level 11, so it's got the range. But I don't think they have the know-how to utilize it.
I mean, I'd be down for that. That'd be very, very fun. If they can deliver their team into the play on the Rise pad, always fun.
So second Rift Herald is coming up shortly, and it should be roughly on time with the dragon. So this means that whoever gets that Rift Herald is going to be looking to set up another trade. It's not really going to be a situation where you take the Rift Herald, drop it mid, get pressure, get the dragon. Because realistically, if there's any vision that goes down onto the pit and spots DNK now starting it up, SBTC should be able to just turn it onto the dragon, but they're not checking. They aren't able to push in And look at this vision. Thank you, Team Secret. Your vision is good. Now SBTC is starting up. Now they've recognized, the Rift Herald's being taken. But they may... No, they are going to get it. They are going to get it. It's fine. It's definitely... No, Team Secret's definitely fine with it. They may have just tried to contest it, slow them down, maybe. Give DNK a little bit more time to get back on the map and into position. But now they have the Rift Herald. They just need to wait for the minion wave and drop it in the mid lane, and then they can get a free turret, and that's a lot of pressure, a lot of ability to invade the enemy's jungle and put down wards and set up more plays for yourself. You've got a lot of pick potential with the Scion on the rail. So SBTC, they have to be very careful here. Look for a good pick.
On a flank, there they go in. Straight onto CBL. They certainly did find one, but look at that shockwave, the triple. CBL trying to turn it around. There's DNK moving on forward. It's 1-for-1 at the moment, but Eddie completely uncontested in the backside. Nagia tanking up that tower. Ooh, DNK, play it careful. He doesn't want to go to Valhalla because he's not going to. He's going straight to the belly. And oh no, the throw might have come in. Oh, it's the bounce house. Up and down, and down go Team Secret stocks as they throw away a fight.
How did that happen? They were doing so well. They completely won the first half on the team fight. But then they just...
Bad execution.
Then they just... overreach and do not touch Celebrity at all. He's allowed to free fire and get his resets, and that's 3 kills given over to the side of SBTC. They are now back in the game. There's a 2,000 gold lead difference, and that's the 2 turrets. That's the standing gold on the map that SBTC could look to reclaim. We see the sports sort of pass each other, and it looks so good from the start. Huge shockwave, and there's the turnaround. They aren't able to burst out CBL, but they kill him eventually, of course. They did a lot of damage to work with, and then they overextend for Venus and Yijin. Nagia and Artifact, I mean, Nagia's on the side taking turrets, but they overextend for Venus. They do not respect the bite. They do not respect the resets, and Venus coming in to say, haha, you didn't kill the cow, now the cow kills you, and just gets the shutdown. Big cow.
I feel like there was a few opportunities there for Team Secret to call it quits while they were ahead, but they threw good money after bad, and much like me in the shower, the plug's now clogged. As they it's just not good. They're still 2k up though, still in a good position.
Yeah, they're still in a good position.
The joke was that I shaved, by the way, not anything else.
Oh, right, okay.
I shaved my beard off.
I grew up with sisters. I'm used to just the showering clogging for no reason.
But let's have a look at the team fight that has just kicked off. With CBL doing fantastic on this rail. Look at all this CC, but it's not enough because they're focusing Venus. Oh, the shockwave is lovely, but rocket jump is also good. 1 for 2. Team Secret. Oh, hello. Can he interrupt the... Nope.
Yeah, so we found a matchup Nagia can win. It's against Dia 1, apparently. But in the top side, Team Secret over-regressing. They do not like cows. No. Definitely not into cows today.
Big stake.
So, yeah, we just see it's actually a pick onto CBL, I believe. Yeah, no, they try and engage onto Eddie, does Venus, and CBL sort of left on his lonesome. Venus in the way. Being able to pick him up is actually really important. But DNK kind of does actually have to overextend for that. He has the ghost and not the flash. Not that it really would have been up anyway, but not having that sort of option means he can't like get in and then flash out and go for that sort of play. So he just sort of runs in, gets the kill, and it's like, haha, goodbye. I'm going to die now.
Yeah, and he goes on a lot of one-way trips.
And it's working out for him, to be fair. He's still quite a bit ahead of Yijin. He's at a 40 CS lead.
Engage. CBL wants this one. Shockwave. And Zeros, you might have a lot of health, but you're not that tanky. DNK picks up the kill, and they might turn this straight into a Baron. Yep, there they go. Starting it up. 21-minute Baron.
That's one smite removed from the side of SPTC. But I'll get... I hate their tag. Anyway... Venus going in for the gauge.
And it's CBL once again turning these fights around. He's going to die, but he's done all he can. Team Secret unable to follow up at the moment. They just lose their support for nothing. Such a shame with these engages are so good.
So CBL is getting these huge engages, but the follow-up isn't there. The Scion ult is really lacking. They can't get onto Celebrity at all. These are big engages, but they're only onto the frontline members of SBTC. So Celebrity, he's got a lot of range now. He's level 11. He's happy to just stand out of the way of Artifact and Eddie and just rain hell on them. That's going to be another dragon picked up. And, Zeros wasn't tanky before, but he's going to get there. He's getting there, boys. He's got a Mountain Drake to help him out.
He will eventually. This Cho'Gath will only get spookier and spookier. Of course, in VCS tradition, they're never going to click on Cho'Gath, so never going to be able to have an accurate stat count.
Yeah, it's also
probably like 6 or 7, probably something like that.
It's also extra hard to tell because he gets size from his items, right?
Exactly,
Thanks to the Frostfire. So he's just this big thing. He's just a big void monster.
He's large. Just a big lad. Tier 1 able to go toe to toe with Nagia now, so we've lost the matchup that Nagia can't lose. Unfortunate.
Nagia did build armor up against Tier 1, so it was bound to happen. Really poor itemization. You should have realized you needed to get a magic art resist item. At least stop off by that Spectre's Cowl or a Negatron Cloak, because
we've got an engage. We've got an engage. CBL goes in, has the ball on his head. It's a shockwave, but it's all onto tanks. CBL once again, kamikaze, but Venus turning it around. The bounce house is beginning, but Eddie is managing to survive. Can they take him down? They cannot. Oriana gets 1. Kaiser has got 2. Venus will be the next to fall, and it's a full team ace. The super big-time chickens have been sent to the slaughterhouse.
They completely smash the team fight. They're going to pick up another tower as well. Nagia is so tanky, they may even be able to pick up the second one. They just have so many tanks to work with. Eddie, what are you doing, buddy? But that's going to be an inhibitor. Oh, or at least the inhibitor
turret. They can turn around to Baron as well. Let's have... Oh, did you see that pillar to stop the Scion coming in? Lovely stuff, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, it was huge, but more importantly was they didn't do damage to the 80 carries, whereas Celebrity just decides, all right, I'm on top of it. I'm going to try and go for the assassination onto Eddie. Doesn't work because he gets blown up by the Cathian Rain, and it's just disaster. Zeros was very close. He's probably going to get a kill.
Goes to the Flash Feast. I mean, him dying there is obviously not good, but I feel like it's worth it to go for that. That's going to look like an int from Zeros, but it's not. It's good. That's a good attempt.
Fine. At this point, he's probably still outsmiting in terms of raw damage, so it's a decent play. It doesn't work out. It was a big high risk, high reward, but you lose the Baron, you lose the kill. But if you did get that Baron, that would have been huge for you. So fair play to Zeros. Doesn't work out. Still the right call. Meanwhile, now we've got a Baron on Team Secret, and we are winning pretty much across the board in terms of itemization. Top's about equal. Jungle and AD carry where your big differences are. You've got so much armor pen on Eddie. This big tanky Zeros doesn't actually matter. Neither does Yijin, despite being able to take so much from Nagia, because all this armor pen is coming out. These Qs are going to hurt like hell. I don't even know if he has actually, he probably does because of the mythic passive on Kraken Slayer. So he does have E. It's fine. But this pushing is going to do quite a lot. Sombrero, though. This is a chance.
Yeah, they could try and turn something here. Tier 1, relatively unmolested. This is just going to be Team Secret burning the Ragnarok and backing off. They won't end the game now. But they didn't need to end it there either.
They didn't need to. There's still a lot on the map for them to take. So them returning to mid lane would be a bit silly. They're spending a lot of time there, though. It's just going to need to be a bit of rotations into this top lane. Setting the gear into the bot side as well would be smart to try and push as much as you can. You have you have a lot of teleports to work with, so they
They're
don't
running
want
it
to
as
risk.
5.
Yeah, they don't want to risk a big team fight, big flank from Zeros. Probably not really tracking that teleport so well, but if you're pushing up against the inhibitors, you kind of leave yourself open to a walk around. And if Zeros can get on top of Eddie, that can just completely
He
turn the
needs to
game
be
back.
careful. He's almost in chomp range, but look at the shockwave. Oh, it's such a good play. CBL, lovely, lovely stuff. Into the back line goes Kaiser. She's got 2. Eddie, can he get a 3rd? No, shut down, but it's not going to matter, I don't think. Celebrity goes down. Venus will be the last to fall. And that, my friends, is a game 3. We wanted it. We wanted more League of Legends from these two teams, and we got it. Team Secret fans, SBTC fans, doesn't matter which one you are, we all wanted this to go to 3. It's been an epic series so far, and it's going the distance.
Yeah, great early game strategy out of Team Secret, being able to punish the Trundle on that early game invade, and from there they were able to keep the pressure down, keep the snowball roll, and get the snowball rolling. There was a little bit of a fumble from SBTC that really catapulted. It really gave them the edge, but really early game was just so much better from Team Secret this game. Nagia stepping up big on the Scion, Zeros looking a little lost, and just I think you tried your fancy stuff, SBTC. If you want to win this, go back to your standard style. I liked the Chuggers. The Chuggers was fine, but it wasn't executed as well as we'd like.
Well, we'll be back in about 10 minutes to bring you the final game of this epic clash. In the chat, spam which team you want to win, SBTC or Team Secret. I want to see who has more fans here in the VCS English chat. We'll be right back.
seconds while you dream. A life never lives in peace. As you stand upon the edge, woven by a single thread, and fate may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking right at your door. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar.
Welcome back, everybody! It's Game 3 of Team Secret taking on SBTC, a potentially split-defining game. And what did I say? The Yulway curse never, ever fails. Welcome back to the VCS English Analyst Desk. Mr. Rebel Fox, what was your take on the second game?
It was good stuff yet again. This time it was actually off of DNK, which was a little bit surprising just to see him actually get to come out and start popping off over the course of the entirety of the game. I was really impressed by how well DNK did. The entire team actually played really well. He had like solo kills coming out of the mid lane out of absolutely nowhere for no reason. You had like still really, really solid performances here from like Eddie, who like popped off on the likes of the Kaiser. That game too was big from Team Secret. Also, I mean, Nagia just did get bullied in top lane, which is a start. So that's going to help things as well.
Yeah, I mean, Sion, like, you can only lose lane so hard on Sion.
Only.
You just, like, there's only, like, seriously, like, in the end, like, it's Sion. He just doesn't lose lane that hard to anyone, really.
Nope.
He's just a good champion. I'd love to see them pick it again. That said, I think SBTC definitely threw a bit of a screwball. I don't know, this background.
Someone finally checked the stream.
Spoons, you are such a good production host. My God. This was whipped up in literally about a minute and a half. But SBTC definitely threw a screwball. If they go back to just a standard pitch, just throw straight at the strike zone, can Team Secret resist that, Marby?
Standard pitch straight to the strike zone. I think it's possible. It depends heavily on getting Nagia a comfortable draft. Obviously, we don't want to see, if you're a Team Secret fan, you don't want to see Zeros getting that really, really strong counterpick like the Irelia into Nara and just popping off and completely taking over. And I think, so yeah, I think a lot depends on what gets drafted and how the draft plays out, because I think pound for pound, you're probably looking at SBTC and saying if they have a standard composition that they know how to play that is meta, they should be coming out on top, judging by these two games.
We'll have to see. Rebel, with Team Secret returning to the red side, obviously SBTC on the blue, what do you think changes in draft here? And do you save a potential counter pick for Nagia? Just to make sure he doesn't get counted?
You need to. You need to make sure, at minimum, if you're going to put on something blind, give it something that like isn't just going to get hard counterpicked by like 4 or 5 different champions that are all within the wheelhouse of being played by your opposition. I don't think that was smart to do in the entire first place. So if you're going to do anything, again, we talked about it. I think it was mostly Mobby who talked about how Rise shouldn't have been picked where it was, should have been picked at 4 instead of 5 on red side, and that would have probably opened things up a lot better for that first game as well for Team Secret.
Well, we are heading into Champion Select for our third and final game of this match. And remember, I want to stress, this is a really important series. If SBTC lose this game, it becomes really, really hard for them to make playoffs. The same can be said for Team Secret, because these two teams are 4th and 5th. You might say, well, SBTC has a 2-series lead. Yeah, but their final weeks are playing every good team. They play Team Secret today, they have GARM, they have SGB, they have Cerberus. Team Secret, on the other hand, they've got Cerberus. That's hard. They've also got GLX. They've also got Flash. This is a huge series for playoffs implications.
They also have,
this
they also
game.
have BTS. So
They also have BTS. Sorry. Also have
Unbeatable.
BTS. That's a hard
Unbeatable.
matchup.
Unbeatable.
Drakthar. Just gap.
Unwinnable. Drakthar.
That's a hard
Drakthar gap.
But anyway, we are in Champion Select. The bands are in. Let's see how this one plays out.
I'm excited.
And
Okay.
I think, realistically, you probably look to take the Tristana. It's been working out really well for Celebrity so far. This would be a really, really bad first pick. That's better as a first pick. Lots of flex potential, but I still think the Tristana would have been the way to go. It's been doing you wonders so far.
It has. And I don't think they're going to pick the Tristana away. They're just going to go 3 games of Kai'Sa. Eddie's been playing pretty well on it. Like, okay, like Marby, I get it. I know. It's boring. But it's working.
Yeah, no, it's... Kai'Sa is fine. Kai'Sa is good. Kai'Sa is a champion that you can play and you will not be inting.
What are you laughing at, Rebel?
Doesn't mean I'm a fan of you.
I
But,
just love his reaction right now. It's killing me.
and
Yeah, their reaction.
you shouldn't be picking it over Tristana is just how I see it, but it's what they're gonna go for. They're gonna just try and run back the first game's draft, that draft that worked so well for them.
I see.
What they're doing.
Okay. Because like Tristana should come out.
Enter
versus
Tristana.
Tristana.
Here we go.
If it's Syndra, I'm gonna throw things. I have things
Come
to
on,
throw,
Syndra,
and they will be
Syndra,
thrown.
No, it's going to be
No,
Dinar.
that's bad. No.
Okay.
Again, why are they ruining some of this flex potential for no reason? Because like you could put Grog as support or jungle, so you maintain some of it. But you're blinding Gnar for the lane that worked for you so well in game 1. Number 2, you're getting rid of some of the flex potential. Like, why do they keep doing this?
I don't think Gragas is ever going top, though. I don't think it's something Zeros really wants to play. Alright, now we do the big old switcheroo. Get some Xerxes brain in here and pick the Nard jungle. Swap in a Quinn. We off to the races, boys.
Nah, mid, let's go. I don't know about that one. But the Renekton for Nagia, that should guarantee him at least a fairly safe lane. Should be fine on the Croc. This is sort of the other side of Renekton. Obviously, we normally talk about Renekton as winning lane. If you're the worst player, you can just pick Renekton and then you probably go even.
Hope is God. Hope is big brain. Realizes trying to force that Gragas jungle because, what did I say coming into the series? Yujin loves his running boys, but now there's no Hecarim, there's no Udyr, there's no Skarner. What's left? Rammus got nerfed this patch. It's not going to be him.
I mean,
Not that Rammus was being picked anyway.
I think there's also a psychological level to it because oftentimes, no matter what team Yujin has been on, when they are down in the dirt, it's the final game. It's a big series. It doesn't matter like if it was a playoffs game, whatever. He just goes to the Skarner. It's a comfort pick. And fair enough. It makes sense. So just get rid of it. Just be like, no, you can't. You don't get your crystals. You have to figure things out. Rebel, what are you thinking so far?
It's kind of tough to decide where TS wants to go because either way, they're giving away some information about their draft. Only because you're pretty certain that Renekton's heading into topside. Okay, or just give everything away. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh my God, Spoons! Spoons, it happened!
Get out of here!
It
Take my place,
happened!
your analyst desk now.
Okay, I thought with these bans, they had the Talia, they had the Nidalee. I thought, all right, well, whatever Team Secret was going to do, they're going to pivot away. They're going to just go for a standard mage, and they're like, no, they're still in the least, boys. What does Elise do again? It's been so long.
Lots of damage. Early game. Elise Renekton is a classic combo,
Yeah,
just like Nidalee. I know you're joking, but I just want to say it anyway. It's a classic pick. It's a super strong combo. That Gnar, I mean, not going to be hard, not going to be easy, but can definitely fly in and bully that Zeros, and Deer 1 is going to Lucian. That
blind,
is,
by the way.
I mean, it's a strong blind pick. What do you pick into Lucian? He's a great blind pick.
There's a
Set.
possibility this actually could be Lucian bought with Tristana mid too.
That's also possible.
I would not think that ever
I
is
don't
the
think
case. No, I
Dia1's
think
Lucian is incredible. Like,
Yes.
seriously, we cannot understate.
set.
He hasn't. Okay, sure.
You just
But-
play set into it and nullify the entire thing,
but
which is
I
why
don't think
Team Secret
Artifact
is-
was going to play. I don't think Artifact was ever going to play the set, because that's the thing.
He's played set mid before the split.
I didn't think it was going to happen this game. I didn't think it was going to happen, and it didn't.
It should have happened, but
Maybe
it's
I
bad.
agree. It should have, but it didn't. I agree. But my point is I just want to stress, because Lucian mid, we had Blazers earlier tonight show why not to pick Lucian mid, and he hasn't been in top form this split, but Dia1 in top form is ridiculously good Lucian. Absurdly good, to the point where it was perma-banned against him, and if you ever forgot to ban it, you lost. You didn't need to play the game, it was over.
Man, that sounds horrible.
We need
I'm not saying he's not in that form this split. He is
Oh, yeah.
not in that. I want to be clear. He is not in that form currently, but this is a very good pick for him.
He also doesn't have anywhere near the facilitator that Levi was for this
Very
pick. Artifact had a very good Orianna performance last game. We're going to have to see if he can replicate it here. This top jungle duo of Renekton and Elise, though, it's going to have to do a lot of work to try and shut down Zeros and get them rolling, because if they don't make an impact happen, they start to become not as effective. I mean, Renekton, of course, is a lot better scaling into the late game than historically he has been, but he's still going to lack that impact, and at least absolutely just not really worth mentioning in the late game.
Well, Rebel, for the final time tonight, I need a prediction in your last words.
This is so tough. I'm split between DNK on the Elise versus Dia1 with the Lucian in the mid lane. I think I'm going to lean towards the side of SBTC, only because, again, I think what they've picked is actually really, really good for what they're doing here.
Well, we'll have to find out. We will be talking to you after this game, regardless. DNK, over on the blue buff. I'm sure our production is just hoping that they never move off of the Team Secret jungle, but unfortunately we do have to see the rest of the map. As
So
things
the
are looking very
press
standard. Go ahead, sir.
Attack Elise is what has come out. So very interesting. Not what you'd sort of traditionally expect to see, normally looking towards things like the Conqueror or the Electrocute, but
Yeah.
Press the Attack is going to be the choice, looking to get sort of in between those long and short trades. Just try to proc that with your increased attack speed on your W, and then finish off with that giant spider bite off your Q. Get a good bit of execute damage down. Very not a ring choice I would have. It's just not the ring choice I would have expected to see. But here we are. And we're going to have to see if they can make something happen. Starting on the blue side, so you can path into this top lane and try and make something happen alongside the Renekton. Zeros is going to have to time this with his jungler very well to make sure he is ready to play safe as the jungler approaches. Now she's on her red buff. Zeros should start to be worried. He's got a ward down in that river, just outside the Tribrush, so should be spawning, at least on the
This
approach.
is going to be a very fast attack, because Nagia can get it started. He slices forward. There's the stun. Into the cocoon. The spider charges forward. Can they actually finish this one? Yes, they can. And Spoons, I hope you're here, because that Elise has just got first blood.
And there was not respect made from Zeros, but now Yujin looking for the punish.
Ooh, there's a
this is
teleport
bad.
coming in. This is bad, because Elise is so strong early. They should be able to pick up this first kill. There's another teleport coming in. Repel up into the air. Dia1 could go down. It's a flash. It's a double kill for the Elise. This is absolutely insane early on. Triple kill for the Elise. She's 4-0 in 3 minutes.
game's over, boys. Team Secret just
GG.
have basically won. Now, of course, yep, Dia can potentially make things happen, but as the game goes on, the game's not obviously not actually over. But Zeros is completely shut out of the game. We just see Flash, Ruthless Predator into the cocoon. It's just standard stuff. Stun into dead. Yujin and Zeros are trying to set something up here, but they don't realize there's just so much damage. Like Yujin comes in, but it's too late. The damage is done. Zeros is already dead, and Dia's only half health when he arrives. It's just a disaster of decision making. You either need to go at the same time, so Dia once there on the punch to begin with, and then you have all that damage kicking off, and you can maybe try and turn it around as a 2-for-1, but funneling in one at a time like that, Yujin doesn't have enough damage on his without a back. His base damages aren't high enough. He's just a CC bot.
Yeah, it's very possible. Now, this is a disaster of unprecedented levels. That is full boots and a component for release.
The Hextech alternators. So now the burst is even more strong. It's even stronger. It's just going to be insane. Zeros going in on Nagia. He's down a level, so has to be extremely careful.
This is a 3v3. Yeah, they get a lot of CC onto DNK, but he just gets out. He has a ward to repel to. Nagia manages to get away as well, so a potential disaster averted by Team Secret. And it turns out the secret was the Pickleace.
Yeah, CBL recognizing Venus's Roman matching alongside saving DNK's life. And now, Dia 1, he's kind of been put into a bad position, and he gets traded on pretty heavily there. That's Cloth Armor coming in and doing a lot of work alongside the Corrupting Pot. Now Artifact might be in trouble, but Yujin doesn't have a flash to work with, so just going to help Dia 1 shove.
Yeah, he's totally fine. Venus still lurking around, but they'll spot him now. They know exactly where he is. Artifact well out of any engage range. The ADCs just having their 1v1. It is going in the way of Eddie. Currently about 15 CS ahead, as once the waves equal out at least. So, good for Team Secret all over the map currently. How does SBTC fight back?
So we're going to have to see a bit of classic antics coming out of the Lucian in the mid lane as DNK is hunting Yujin, making sure he's tracked, making sure he can't do anything to swing the game back. It's going to have to be a big team fight, or one of these solo outplays by Dia.
Dia 1 has gotten Riot Games. The Omnivamp doesn't stack. Doran's Blade, the Omnivamp doesn't stack. It's a bug. Well, I'm not sure which half is the bug. The fact that it doesn't stack, or it displays you saying, like, it says that you have all the Omnivamp. You don't. It's a bug. It's a display bug. You don't get the double Omnivamp. It's a waste. Never build 2 Doran's Blades. It's real bad. Buy other things.
I mean, the lack of the Omnivamp is rough, but you do just get good stats out of it, especially considering
it's still better to get a component.
It's still probably better to just buy a cull than that second Doran's Blade, but lets like you maybe get back to it if you play safe and just farm. But it's so.
I want to be clear. I want to be clear. Like, it's not really Dia 1's fault. Like, you probably should know that. People have talked about it on Twitter and stuff. But it is ridiculous because it displays in-game that you have the Omnivamp, and they are not unique passives. You should have the Omnivamp, but you just don't. So it's a bug. It's annoying, and evidently Dia 1 doesn't know.
Yeah, and that could have been a big part of why he's just, like, annoyed, why he ended up losing the trades that he took up against Artifact, because he just expected to have a bit more sustain than he did. In the end, it's not going to be too much of an impact. The real impact is still this jungle difference. There's a CS lead for DNK. There's a 4-kill lead for DNK. He punched the Spider Witch. You'll way. He punched the Spider Witch. That's what's come out, and it's doing harm to SBTC.
Well, as long as DNK doesn't fall on any knives, it should be able to snowball this one. Does need to do something with the lead, though. Elise is, it's not like it's Karthus that got 4 kills. where you basically just win the game on the spot. Does need to do something with this. Take that lead, grow it further.
Very good ward in the lane by Zeros. It
Yeah,
has
he
spotted
spots this.
Nikia on the entrance.
Look at
So
the
now-
collapse.
And now they've
Dominance
also
is
spotted
used.
CBL, so this is
Oh
all
my
just
word,
the bait.
they're all
This is going
here.
in.
Oh, but the repel on the barrel. Nagia's going to be the sacrificial lamb. There's the Nart.
Doesn't matter.
They really want to kill DNK.
There
And
is.
there it is. The worm has turned and bitten its own tail. And SBTC fire on back. This game was never going to be over at 3 minutes.
They trade it for a lot on the bot side, but that doesn't actually matter. It's not the gold, it's the momentum, it's the morale you get from that play. You just smashed it, 3 kills. You're gonna get a Rift Herald, you're gonna get so much tower damage. As long as Celebrity is safe here from Nagia, which he is, he manages to survive. This is a huge swing in just attitudes, and the gold is nice. The gold is nice. You basically come out even. You probably come out ahead thanks to the huge shutdown onto BNK, and that ward is just king. That ward saves the entire play. They even saw a little bit moving between bushes, and then they see CBL here as well, so they know. Oh yeah, great. They're gonna go for the counter gank, but we know we brought more, baby. We brought 5 boys here, and we got the best Naro you could hope for, and everyone gets a piece of the pie. And the huge shutdown goes over to DO1. He is going to take that. He's going to make up for his 450 investment into the Doran's play. He is going to try and use that to bully Artifact and get that lead rolling. Woo!
And I think there's a pause.
Back, boys.
I guess. I guess we've hit the sap. Sap is inevitable. Of course, the players are back in the stadium tonight. They have been playing remotely for a few weeks due to the coronavirus. They're back in GG Stadium, and there's pauses. I mean, genuinely, like, you'd think them playing at home would result in more tech difficulties. Nah. GG Stadium has really bad internet. It's a great stadium, though. From everything I hear, it's a lovely venue with garbage internet. So, I guess it's a poison chalice. Let's try and take in this game, because we just have had a big swing back towards the chickens.
Yeah.
What now, Marby? Team Secret still has this very strong Elise. SBTC have just fired back, and we're back on the field.
All right, so SBTC, they've gotten a nice injection of gold for themselves, especially into that mid lane for DO1. Hasn't been able to spend that huge shutdown, but that should be getting him much closer towards that Kraken Slayer and let him work his way into being that solo kill menace. And what does it really provide? They've really come away with it with a few kills and a Rift Herald. 1 plate on top of that as well. They're going to realistically lose this first break on the bot side, and that's something that SBTC appear to be content with. They're just going to say, all right, we're going to keep overloading the top side and look to trade. We're down. If we trade evenly or ahead, we can actually we catch up. We bring the gold totals up, which means the percentage gap goes down. The delta is the important key. Not so much the percentage delta is important, not so much the absolute
number itself, yeah. So a problem is Celebrity is not having a good time. He's got a kill, but, I mean, he is very far behind Eddie, just in terms of, like, scale, like, not so scaling's the wrong word, power spikes. They've just taken 2 towers. They did get first brick as well, so Team Secret definitely maintaining their lead. Perhaps not as much as we would have hoped after a 4-kill Elise at 3 minutes, but still doing well.
Eugen really kind of pulled out too early of that trade, deciding to just drop the Herald when the turret was still very healthy and back away. If he'd stuck around and helped in the trade, they probably could have matched the pace of the tower, maybe even forced a kill onto Nagia, maybe picked up 2 towers and overall win the trade. But his decision to sort of bounce back early and be hesitant kind of means that overall SBTC really lose out. They lost 2 towers to 1. They lost first brick bonus. And the gold they did get, the plates were split between Celebrity, Eugen, and Zeros. It's not the best. It's really not what you want. Whereas all the plates went to Eddie, all but one on that first tower. So Team Secret are just allocating their resources better, and Eugen just not looking comfortable on the Gragas, which is a shame because realistically he used to be very good at this Gragas back a year ago, but he's just having issues getting things done. It doesn't run fast enough for him to do decisions. He has too much time to double think himself.
Yeah.
I know
Double think himself. Okay, that's interesting.
I know words.
This is interesting.
Second guess. That's the word.
There you go.
God.
You got there. Well done. But it is Night Harvesters for both junglers. In fact, the actual material difference between the junglers at the moment is just upgraded boots. I'm not sure if DNK just hasn't backed in a little while Eugen is just fresh off a reset. I haven't been tracking it perfectly. But we will see as the game continues to be in a bit of a lull. Both teams a little bit hesitant about taking any fights. I can't stress enough how important this series is. You would hate to be the player that makes the mistake that could potentially kill your team's chance at playoffs. Which this series has a lot of chance to do. As Eddie still hasn't backed in a while. I don't think. I need to be tracking that better.
He backed him. He backed and bought reasonably recently and bought the fully upgraded boots. So he decided to rush for that extra movement speed instead of going for the fully upgraded Kraken Slayer.
I think that makes sense as well.
Whichever mythic of his choice. But Zeros is sort of getting a little bit of the Nagia treatment from game one. He's being very heavily focused by DNK and CBL. They want to make sure Nagia is having a good time, and again, we're just seeing how this Na pick can just be punished by just having the pressure brought up to him time and time again. And it's just really
spreads towers as well. Something that's not often talked about with this champion is how fast Elise actually kills towers with the attack speed steroid. So they are easily able to secure the top lane tower, while Dia1 on the bot side was only able to scratch the bottom one, despite Lucian being a pretty good pushing champion as well.
It's vision allocation. There's not a lot of vision on the map for SBTC at all, but when there used to be a little bit up leaning towards that Rift Herald, but that all has been cleared out as Team Secret pushed their own vision in towards that blue side jungle. And that meant Dia1 didn't feel safe to take the turret, despite seeing 3 members on the top lane and at least 1 in the mid lane. He just didn't feel safe. Despite having a full mythic completion and boots, he's doesn't think he can handle a 1v1 for some reason, which is a little bit disappointing to see out of Dia. We want to see him, when you're in this position, you kind of want to see him try and test his mechanical ability, because that's where he shines the best. When in these clutch situations, he is probably our most clutch player, especially when he's on form. Yeah. You can find these clutch 1v1s, 3v1s even, and it's just what we need to see from him to try and bring this game back into SBTC is advantage. They've kept the gold lead to about 2,000. That's very good considering the lead that DNK got off to after that huge blunder level 1. But not level 1, but like near enough. And yeah. So
Team Secret really haven't been able to put their foot to the floor. In terms of acceleration, the car's stopped. At least when it comes to kills, they've just translated it to, we are just going to split the map open, we're going to play this one like macro, and now Venus is caught out, they block the Justice Punch. Mwah! Lovely stuff. That's a 5th kill for DNK.
That's a 5th kill. That's another turret because Celebrity can't step up. Lucian is just pushing in the top side. Zeros collecting the massive waves down bottom as he needed to do. And that's actually just going to be a 2nd turret because they've overloaded the mid lane. They can just deal so much damage. And Eugen and Celebrity cannot provide the wave clear. The wave clear on SBTC as a whole is just really, really weak. Eugen isn't far enough ahead to blow up waves with his barrels. Celebrity doesn't have the range to step up and auto attack. This is just going to be a big snowball for Team Secret, because what can SBTC do? This dragon is coming up in 30 seconds. They may have to just look for a miracle fight.
Well, what SBTC can do is definitely look for a miracle fight, but DNK, the biggest criticism we've had of him this entire split is he does not ever go in first. He is never the playmaker. He's great at following up. He's not a bad player by any means. He's fantastic at following up, but he doesn't make the play first. And when you're a 5-1 Elise and your team has 5 kills, you can't be second man in. You've got to get the party started. So we need to see that out of DNK.
I somewhat disagree. I might have to hold on to this point.
You might have to, because... Oh, the cocoon land onto Zeros. They back off.
Because, anyway, I don't really think, besides random picks in a brush somewhere... Oh, never mind, you just gone for it.
Yeah, there it is. The barrel came in. It's a good narrow into Galio. It's a lot of damage. There's the culling on the side. Nagia managing to live. Oh, my word, Eddie. You are fantastic. Slater absolutely quaking in his boots. Slater worried about the strength of Eddie as the dragon goes down and Team Secret continues to push ahead.
Oh, no. Despite a beautiful combo from Zeros and Venus, it just doesn't work out. They try so hard and it just blows up in their face. Dia and Eugen go down. The dragon goes over to Team Secret, and here we see Zeros starts it off very well.
Oh my god, Eugen.
Eugen was garbage, but he gets a massive combo down onto the tanks. Celebrity doesn't exactly have enough damage to keep the pressure down. And Nagia survives on a sliver, but Eddie spots Dia on the outside of the fight and just goes in, blows him up. He's 2 items done. He is fully online as an assassin now, and Dia's Dunzo 1, boys.
It's definitely looking like Dia 2 this game. This is
Dia 1, 2, and 1.
This is a fantastic performance out of Eddie, a real statement game, coming in to replace Slater, end of last split, you would have said he was the best ADC in the league, pretty much uncontested for that role. Now, replaced by a rookie, and he's looking real good, as they are now on soul point. Finally, someone not named Elise has kills. I'm sure our production is very upset about that, as Baron joins the Rift. And Team Secret are looking dominant, 5k ahead. Yeah,
and I have to say, Team Secret have decided to adapt the GARM strategy from 2019. Unfortunately, they did let Celebrity go, so they don't have the 3 best AD carries in the league on their team. But it's a start. You seem to have 2 of them. It's a very good start. But as we see,
Tier 1 in a lot of trouble. The Crocodile's here, but they're going to try and cull him, and Zeros arrives with Meganar ready. Wow, Tier 1, he knows his game might be over, so he just gives the kill over to Zeros. But look what Team Secret do. They go, oh, you sent to the bot lane? Guess that means we start Baron. But the wards were there. SBTC respond in time. And Team Secret just have to cop the L.
The wards are there and they don't feel safe enough to risk it. Dia1, of course, did have the teleport and Na was making their way up pretty quickly. But because of that positioning error, they've given up this mid lane turret. And that's a good swing for SBTC in momentum. They have the Tristana. They have the double AD carry. They have a Zeros, which functions as a tertiary one. That's just another turret as well. That's huge. It brings them back into still around that 3k distance, which isn't great. It's not what you want, but it's good. It's something for SBTC. It's gold in the pockets. You can use that to reach the next breakpoint. You can use that breakpoint to reach your next fight. You can use that fight to actually maybe win the game. And we need to see a bit more out of Nagia and DNK as a duo. Nagia looked for that solo kill into Dia1, and he almost got it, to be fair. Fair play to him if that teleport didn't come He may have gotten it.
DK caught out, but
yeah.
repel, it's a good spell. Into the back line goes CBL, puts up the big shield, and in comes Eddie! Here he is! They pick the 1 kill up. There's the buster shot to try and disengage, but Nagia over the wall says, "G'day, celebrity," forces the flash, and they'll return to the Baron.
And they return to the Baron with 2 kills down, and that's a lot of the AoE potential as well. Flash is forced from everyone on the side of SBTC. I don't think they can really contest this. Maybe you look for a Ardent Blaze steal, but it's too late for that. Just the Culling's going to come out, tickle Nagia, and they're like, okay, fine, we'll reset. Bye. Don't like you. But that's huge. And if we...
I'm loving this. I had a pet dog when I was little. My first dog was named Eddie. Got a lot of good memories, so I'm happy that Eddie is doing well.
Well,
Eddie, black coat retriever. He was a good boy.
Oh, very lovely. But
what
is more lovely is this CBL engage. It is so good. Then the AoE damage is insane. A Cathian Rain is just stupid with Collector's Execute passive. Riot, please nerf. And it's just a one fight from there. So much AoE damage and SBTC in that choke point gets wrecked. Now it's set up for the Dragon Soul. SBTC is not in position at all. This is going to be free. This is going to be a freebie for Team Secret, and this is just the game 1. I think it's it's nearly impossible for SBTC to come back from this. I mean, it's VCS. Nothing's impossible.
Never say never.
Bigger throws have happened, but it is going to be harder and harder for SBTC because not only are Team Secret really far ahead, they are also playing this comp extremely well. DNK seems to have found his footing on this Elise. He's being a lot more aggressive. He's still not making those first plays, but he doesn't need to on Elise. Elise isn't the best as those first engages, unless you're in a side brush and you're waiting for someone to wander past and get assassinated willy-nilly. In these fights, you're looking to be the follow-up CC with your Cocoon and try and pick off the low targets that Nagia and CBL set up for you. You're looking to play basically what Eddie's doing. Fly in, press Q, and kill someone.
Yep, that's what you do when you've got the Collector. It's a good item. As the bot lane inhibitor has fallen, Team Secret continuing to look very, very strong. Yijin has been unable to get involved in this game, getting a bit jungle diffed, to say the least. But there is diff kind of everywhere. It's stacking in this bush. Uh-oh. Ooh, they get spotted though. Nagia needs to back off. Ooh, he might have overstayed. A lot of shields, but yeah, they don't kill him. Sterix Gage. Sterix Gage.
Sterix does a lot of healing. They didn't have Celebrity there to really pump in the crits and the true damage. Culling does a lot, but it's not really so good up against your big tanky members because, well, it's not crits. It's not the true damage from the what's it called, the Kraken Slayer. So you just end up tickling the big croc, and now the siege is just too much. Baron is up there, thankfully. Team Secret, very short range, so they can't break open these towers for SBTC.
Oh, but there's a catch. D1, he's been found. You are not allowed to leave your base, sir! And the Crocodile is here. He's just enforcing the quarantine. You know, COVID restrictions. Stay in your home. Stay in your base. He's not allowed out. And he got fined. This is what happens. You got to obey the law, dear. It applies to everyone.
Yeah, that it does, and we are actually starting to see a bit of the problems of SVTC when they fall behind. When they're ahead, they look great. They know how to play from point to point to point, and especially through Zeros. But if Zeros gets camped, if Zeros isn't able to get that lead going, as Yijin dies, eventually,
Yijin dies. Yijin definitely dies. Nagia. A little bit of Tokyo Drift there with the Stride Breaker. Doesn't quite get on top of Celebrity though, but it's another inhibitor falling. And it's going to take a miracle. We need divine intervention. I don't even think always Twitter could save SBTC at this point.
It's a little too late. I think it's only at its strong points between games.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So, thanks your way. Can people inspect his home, make sure he doesn't have any bets down? Because there could be a little bit of insider trading, bit of
do you mean?
gambling.
What do you mean? We don't work for anyone. We can do whatever we want.
I'm pretty sure there are laws of the country rather than company laws, but whatever. Match fixing, same sort of thing. God damn it, you're way out.
Moving on. Move on.
Moving on.
Swiftly past.
Yeah, it's very hard to see. Well, looking at our 3-item breakpoints for SBTC, if they want to take a fight, very close for Celebrity and DL1 getting there, but Yijin only just finished his Zhonya's. He is so far behind. DNK is about to finish that, but that's his 3rd item. And now he's going to be even more deadly at just jumping in, assassinating someone, and then being able to get out unharmed. It's looking so dire for SBTC, and the Blast Cone is good. Gets Nagia away from the taunt. But can they do anything? These minion waves pushing into the bot lane.
You've got to fight at some point, SBTC. That's just your 3rd inhibitor gone. When are you going to fight?
They can't really fight. They don't have the good setup. They need Zeros around to set up the engages. His Nara ults, to be fair, this game have been extremely good, but the rest of his team aren't able to follow up with the damage. They have a very AD heavy profile with the especially with the agent being set so far behind, and now it's just going to be another Baron.
SBTC,
they can't contest.
You have to fight at some point. I know they can't, but I'm talking about the inhibitor play. You have to fight eventually.
Absolutely. And here they have
to do it eventually.
Losing the Baron, you couldn't get out. You were trapped in your base by minions. But you needed to spend that time shoving as hard as you can. Celebrity, you don't just sit here and give it to Dio. Just shove, so you can so you have that time to get to the Elder Dragon if you need to and fight there, because you cannot just give that for free, because then you have no hope in your Nexus. You have to fight beforehand. They already have 1 fighting buff in the Baron. You may not even get to the Elder Dragon because they're just barreling down the mid lane and just going to try and kill you.
Yeah, and at this point, you've got a pushing wave on the top side. You've managed to kill the super minions on the bottom side, but they're just going to move over there and move those ones in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. They're just pushing all 3 in. They're just going to try and end. If SBTC don't bite, they'll just go to the Elder, and then what? They're just going to do it again. You have to fight at some point, SBTC. Are you likely to win? Of course you're not. Finally, something is happening. Zeros goes for the engage. It's not working out, though, as it's only gone onto Nagia. They're doing a lot of damage to the Crocodile, but he's doing a lot of damage back. Into the backside goes Yijin. It's 1 for 1 at the moment. No, I tell a lie. It's 2 for 1. This is turning around, but Celebrity is dead. And that will be game. That will be series. And this, my friends, might well decide our playoff race. Team Secret take down the super big time chickens. And that may well buy them a fourth place berth in our playoffs.
Yeah, SBTC fumbling at the end, but Team Secret, they showed a really good game 2 and game 3. They knew how to play around their compositions, play around their top laner, not let Zeros rule the roost, and that was crucial to shutting down SBTC.
We will be going, if production's okay with it, over to our analyst desk. We want to bring in Mr. Rebel Fox. What was your take on Game 3?
At least if I don't know what else to say. DNK, the back half of this entire series has actually just been completely smurfing across the board, and even better, I really liked that top lane play was kind of like a wrench that got thrown into the cog of the Elise early on, where they got the shutdown gold on a couple of people, and then the Rift Herald. But the best part about that whole play was that Kaiser was still bot lane, collected that basically 4 tower plates worth of gold, as well as being able to push down bottom tower, giving them pressure on bottom side to continue to take dragons. And that dragon stacking is what kind of won them the game after everything else, only because their gold value was huge from Elise and being able to get picks and stuff. But still, the game plan was there in multiple games here from the side of somebody into this team, as SBTC finally has met their match and Team Secret was able to come out with a couple of game plans that worked for them.
Yeah, it was super impressive stuff, honestly. I have to give some credit to SBTC to be able to fight back from that early game disaster. The fact that that game felt close at any point, I do think reflects on it. I still think, I mean, SBTC is a team. I don't want to say a good team. They're definitely a team, though. But today...
So I think...
Sorry, go ahead, Marby.
So I think today, I think I was basically about to say the same thing you were, in that we saw the best version of both of these teams in some respects. We're seeing a weakness from SBTC in that it's very easy to ban out Eugen. And Eugen, is when he's not on those run-at-you picks, he looks a lot less coordinated, doesn't seem to know where to go. Vino's coming into the team does seem to have given them more direction. I think that's been a huge improvement overall. If they can get Eugen rolling, he can work on getting Zeros rolling, get on Dia rolling. But again, it's just this mid-jungle duo that is bringing the rest of the team down. I think top and bottom are solid. They are performing really, really well. Mid-jungle are just not showing up. It's really painful for SBTC. Meanwhile, for Team Secret, this is the most confident they've ever looked. Even though Nagia got kind of wrecked in game one, he has the confidence to come back in game two and say, all right, put me on tank duty. I'll do my job. And he did his job.
With that.
He did his job damn good.
It's not something... So that's actually an issue sometimes that the VCS has. And again, we have to make observations. We obviously don't speak to the players. Most of the players don't speak a word of English, and I don't speak a word of Vietnamese. Not that they'd want to talk to us anyway. There's sometimes it does seem to be a little bit of ego in the VCS. It's a lot of young players and it's a lot of mechanical hot shots. So it makes sense. A
lot of ego this split.
Yeah, unfortunately not the player ego, but you know what I mean. So oftentimes laners don't want to go to tank duty. I'm really happy. Nagia, he got absolutely stomped in game one and then said, all right, stick me on Sion. And it worked. It was great. I love to see it. Rebel, I'm going to give you the last word before I sign us off for the night.
Mm-hmm. Team Secret made this a lot more interesting. This entire league has now just been thrown into a small amount of chaos. And how about the Burst the Sky comeback trail? Potentially to kick SBTC out. The dream is alive, baby. Drakthar for playoffs. Let's go.
BTS Miracle Run is still alive.
BTS Miracle Run's alive.
I'm here for the cool-eyed.
BTS stands. Give them your energy. But with that, we will say good night. It's been a fun night. If you do want to support the stream, there are things being spammed in the chat. Please do consider it. It's really useful at the moment. Life is very expensive, and this job takes up a lot of time and pays nothing. So yeah, it would be helpful. Of course, if you don't have any money, that's fair enough. We don't either. You can always just follow us on social media. We've got Twitter, we've got Facebook, we've got Discord. I think we've even got an Instagram that we post memes on and the like. Everywhere. Our team is super, super talented. It's not just us that you see on camera. There's
a stretch goal with just TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. There's so many people behind the scenes that work to bring VCS English to life. I want to especially thank our production Spoods. Today was ridiculously busy for them, but they managed to clear a hole in their schedule to make sure we can bring these games to you. I appreciate you, man. It's really, really good. I'm sure everyone out there appreciates you as well. Please chat, spam, thank Mr. Spoods. But with that, we will bid you a good night. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place, same VCS action.
Make sure to donate so we can double Spoods' pay.